Mm. Free thinking people.
AJ.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have it live on my YouTube. I can go ahead. What's up, people?
This slide up some. You come towards me. Yeah.
Gucci bandana.
That dryer on. That dryer. It's loud. It's knocking. And close that door.
What's up, everybody? I see you guys. Just give me a minute to get the comments uploaded. Welcome in. Of course, today we're talking about why free thinkers get crucified.
Yeah.
I want to say this. This is not an attempt to trash anybody, any of our loved ones, anything like that. This is an attempt to bring perspective. The world is waking up, man. I mean, we're coming into a new era, a new age, and this is going to happen more and more. And if our loved ones and family members are not prepared, you're going to get ridiculed. You're going to get crucified. So, hang on, let me see here.
Josh doing that?
Yes. Just keep it straight for me. Hey, okay. So, Callie, it is up on the Facebook page. If you want to go ahead and start sharing it to your page or whatever, they go from there. But so, guys, what I was saying is, while I'm loading this up, just to talk to you while you guys are still coming in. We're in a new age. We're in a new era. And so what we want to do is get some perspective out there, because what's happening is whenever we become conscious and aware of our surroundings and learn that the literature we've been given since children and accepting prematurely with no proof, okay, is not factual, we get crucified, right? We get, hurt by our own family members, right? The very people we want to accept us, the very people we want to wake up more than anybody else, cuts us off. Mm-hmm. And so at this point, we want to do this broadcast just to enlighten others, get advice, and find out what we can do better. And what's the reason that this happens for that matter. First, let me do this. Let me thank you, Trey, for the donation. Thank you very much. Rolling Thunder, thank you very much. I want to ask everybody, hit your likes, hit your shares. Please make sure you share this. We want your loved ones to be able to hear this information. You can just simply put your thoughts on top, whatever you need to do. Just if you want to be exempt from being of course, being a free thinker at this point, because we know what happens, you can simply just put, what are your thoughts? And just share this as much as you can. I really would like for this to be, my most shared video. And if you guys have not caught Pay Homage's video on his page, he had just opened up to his mother and just got I'll let him tell it. But needless to say, I drove all the way to him, and I'm doing this video with him in his home, okay? Simply because it moved me. Like it had me crying. How dudes like to say about knowing they was crying. Like, I'm not crying.
I tried so hard not to.
Like I said, I can feel your pain through it. So I want you guys to please share this. So we can get this out to as many people as we possibly can.
I almost
cried. Man, it's no joke.
That's exactly how we do too as men.
I almost cried. Oh, you getting beat up. He tried to hit me. No, he definitely hit you.
Hey, every man know, ain't nothing like that good cry by yourself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Like getting it out like, But we'll be like, I almost cried.
Hey, Josh, I do not see it on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Mm-hmm.
So just give us a little time, guys. We're going to get ready to go. Let me read some comments. Peace, RBG. Leslie Lotus, what's good? Can't wait to get in on this. I'm so glad you're here then. She said, I can relate. Darnella, what's going on? Michael, what's up? Tazzy Taz, man, this is a great topic. I really want to chime in on this one. Brother, you here? I'm glad you're here. Oh, ma'am. Sorry, I can't see the picture. I know two people named Taz, and this male and female. Doug, peace, brother. Stephanie, I'm glad. True Elohim, be sure to subscribe to your boy's new channel, Breaking Down. Okay, I got you. Everybody can read that. Michael, what's up? Nikki, thank you. Peace. Papa, the master student. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Miss J, hi. Okay. Doug, what's going on? Love, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Peace, Latrice. Romello, what's going on? Thank you. Definitely. Man, what's up? Why people watch? Hello. Anthony Dunbar, what's up? Thank you, Candy Amo. For all of you guys who are donating, I want to go ahead and thank you right now for all the 3 people who have already donated, and for those who will, I thank you in advance. If you get something from this, please donate. Okay, the funds do help me continue to do this right here. I don't charge, so it helps me to continue to do this for free. All right, so please consider that. Ashe Shagria. Let's see here. See, Jamar, what's going on? Dwayne, what's going on? Voice of Reason, what's up, man? See here. Thank you, Candy. See, Dirty Water said the reason why is because the mind of matter goes both ways. I agree. Don Ham, what's up, bro? What's up? Tank in the building. Man. Okay, Ray. What's going on? All right. Peace. What's up? I sure will, Jamar. I sure will. I said with that shirt, Master Teacher. Oh, okay. I appreciate that. Listen, you can go to betheevolution.org and get these shirts right here. So these shirts are the newest ones that just came out. Please make sure you go order a shirt. I love life. Will you touch on relationships and having a woman that straddles the fence? Absolutely, man. We're going to talk about every possible relationship you can have with someone and what happens whenever you leave religion. And we saw husbands and wives divorce over a difference of belief. We saw mothers cut their sons off. All right, fathers cut their man. It doesn't at this point. It doesn't matter, right? So, absolutely. Let me check Facebook again. We're gonna get started, guys.
Yeah, religion should be called.
Okay, we definitely on Facebook now. We kicking. Okay. You said what now?
Religion should have just named it separatism.
I'm telling you. Man. I'm telling you.
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
Man, they about to kick me out of Beard Gang. I tried to share this video to Beard Gang, y'all. They gonna just delete me up out the whole thing.
Hey, man, you might want to get up out of that beer gang, man.
Man, they about to kick me all the way up out of here.
About that beer gang.
Hey, it's over now. I might as well. It's over now, Tacoma.
And listen.
It's definitely over. I'm probably officially out of Beard Gang.
Don't get mixed up in that, brother.
Oh, man.
I mean, but then again, you know. Eat it all.
Now, I post pics of me and my kids and stuff, my daughter there with the beard, you know. I got a beard, man. It's for people like me. Tacoma, you're not about to get mad because you ain't growing no full beard like me.
Hey, man, if
it had something that was like, Dream Gang, I wouldn't even say nothing to you.
I can't grow a beard either.
All right, so let's get into it. I shared the video on all of my pages or whatever, so let's just talk. I want to talk about this for just a moment. What we're learning is that we don't actually even have free will from our parents. We were raised to believe that we had free will from a God in the sky who had all power. What is free will? Some say free will is the ability to do something without punishment, right? But we know that can't be because there's a hell, right? If I was to offer my child 2 pieces of candy, right? And then my child, a red piece and a blue piece of candy. My child picks the red piece and I slap him. Is that free will? It is not, because I punish my child for the candy, right?
Absolutely.
If he picks the blue and I reward him with 2 more blues, that's also not free will because I rewarded him, right? Free will is just free will. You do what you want to do. It does not come with any reward, right? Or any curse or any punishment because I'm not trying to control you either way. The choice is simply yours, right?
That's free will.
Right. So we know that's not the case, right?
Yeah.
So some people say free will is the ability to make a decision, not the punishment. But that's not even free will. Think about this. 2 reasons somebody will do something. Mm-hmm. They want to or they're forced.
Yep.
You name any other reason, I'll say I'm wrong about that. Think about it. If you get up and go get some ice cream, it's because you wanted to. It's not that you just made a decision. The sheer fact that you wanted some ice cream, and who made you want the ice cream? Did you say at 4 o'clock today, I'm gonna want some ice cream?
Nope.
No, your mind just wanted it, right?
Yep.
If you decide to get the ice cream, you say, you know what? I'm not going to get that ice cream. It's still not free will. Let's say you say, I'm not going to eat that ice cream because you know what? I'm going to die and I'm about to cut down. Then you want to lose the weight more than you want the ice cream. Therefore, you chose not to do it, right? So again, free will.
Yep.
Now, you want to grow. You want to learn. You want to expose to your family, right, what it is that you've learned, right? And they're not giving you the free will. They're threatening you, telling you you're going to hell, telling you you're stupid, right? You reading the Bible wrong, right? You misinterpreting it. You was never saved. You was always planned to begin with, right? So it's anybody knows what that's called when someone insults you, right? Instead of talking about your stance. I just want to test the room real quick. If anybody knows what that's called, what is the fallacy called when someone insults you instead of talking about the stance that you're taking? All right. Thank you very much, Hyatt Snicky. Oh, it's about to go down. We about to get into it. I don't even know why I got these headphones on.
Oh, yeah, it's about to go down.
So, of course, guys, let me just introduce in the room. We got Pay Homage here. You guys recently watched this live video. A lot of you guys were moved by it. If you guys saw that video and were moved by it, just give me a yes if you saw that video. Thank you very much, Jamaro. And I know you guys saw Callie's video a couple of weeks ago where he went to his father, who is a bishop, and exposed to his father what he has now learned. And I know everybody saw that one. That was just huge. So,
yeah, it was.
So I got both of them in the building today, and we're going to talk a little bit about our experience. Ad hominem. Look at there. Somebody got it. Who got that? Mike Speed. Man, I appreciate you, brother. Ad hominem. That is when someone targets you instead of your stance. If I say, I don't believe in Jesus as a historical character, you're gay. You're just gay. You just want to go do dudes, right? Or you just want to live the life you want to live. This is what I promise you. People say that crap. So ad hominem, right? So that's what they do. And it's one of those things where they say, like, okay, you're demonized, you've been deceived, right? The enemy speaking through you. Yeah. But they're not dealing with, you said Jesus never existed historically. Yep. And they said the devil speaking. That is not what I said. Prove me wrong. If you prove me wrong, then you can say the devil speaking through me.
In this day, excuses that the devil has got all these tricks.
Right,
so
absolutely.
Smart. Like, what?
Absolutely.
The devil work in mysterious ways too.
Absolutely. See?
What?
And that's the biggest trick he ever pulled, was convincing people. Oh, come on, man.
But we talk about him all the time. How has he convinced people he doesn't exist? That he has a TV show. Right. Like, dude, come on.
Sean Williams, thank you very much.
The point of like many movies. They done made big blockbuster movies talking about the devil. The devil is a big mark in American society. They make movies about the devil, demons, Insidious. They make TV shows. They put them in commercials. They love the devil.
Look at all the yeses. These are the people who watched your video and said they were moved by it. So the people definitely saw it. I saw a lot of people. I shared it this morning. Yeah. And I shared it to like three different walls. Yeah. And on every one, people are commenting, man, just talking about how they can relate to it and how powerful.
That was like my first time ever going live, dude. Because I was like straight up just like, I need to hear someone else's opinion. Like,
thank you, Courtney.
Like, maybe I am doing something wrong. I started feeling like that little kid again. Like, maybe it is me. Maybe I am doing something wrong again. And I'm grown now, and I done broke free of that. And she took me right back to that place. Like that little scared kid. Like, oh, my God, I think I really pissed my mom off this time. And in my mind before that, I was like, I don't care about this, that, and the third. But she brought me back, all them feelings back. And I was like, oh, my God. I don't want to hurt my mom's feelings. I don't care about God. I'm not thinking about that. Like, she thinks something that he's gonna do something to me. Your parents ever told you this? God gonna stir you up? Oh yeah. I wish I had $1 for every time I heard that. Oh yeah. Like, what does that mean? You want God to do something bad to me because I got a bad grade in school? You want God to hurt me? They would tell me, like, literally, boy, I had a dream you was in a wheelchair, like, because I got a bad grade. Right, absolutely. What? And see, all these things are fear tactics. You know, they have nothing to back them. And again, once you accept a few things from them, you will accept it all. Number one, you trust them. They're your parents, right? I thank you, Courtney. Thank you very much, Brian. So listen, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have Callie to start off a little bit about who he is and his life, and of course, growing up in church, what it was like, and kind of what he received. Because a lot of you guys watched his situation, but you didn't see the things that happened after that video. Because we went live 2 days in a row. Okay, the second day we went live, everything seemed to be, people did see her get upset during that video. But, what happened after the video are the things I'm going to have, Callie to explain to you guys, whatever he's willing to reveal to you guys. But, trust me, yesterday, just speak to this a little bit, Callie. Whenever I called you, I told you I just talked to Pay Homage. And you could hear it in my voice. I was still tore up, right? And, so I said, man, I want you to come on and talk. And Callie was like, yeah, man, because, like,
My mom, she called. I said, Callie, don't even tell me, bro. I can't even take it right now. Like I said, bro, just don't tell me, bro. I can't take it right now. I already know. So yeah. So with no further ado, man, I'm gonna bring you on, Callie, man. Go ahead and just talk to him.
Yeah, peace to everybody in the chat, man. Peace to everybody watching, man. I went to my father's church a few weeks back, and I was invited to the platform. We kind of had a misunderstanding on how the platform was supposed to go, but it turned out, in a way, it ended up turning out good because to some what may have seemed like a debate, it actually turned out to people actually learning something. They learned something from the situation, and what it was my first time. It was my first time ever telling my father, who is a bishop in Cleveland, Ohio. It was my first time ever telling him my reasoning for walking away from religion, walking away from Christianity. And a lot of y'all probably seen that all over Facebook. It went crazy all over Facebook. But that was my first time ever talking to my father about that. It turned out to a point people wanted to see a second day. They wanted to see a second part to that discussion, because it's not a lot of times where you have a preacher who's going to allow you to walk in, step in his church. You feel what I'm saying? And
with
have this conversation.
What they would say.
Yeah. And that's exactly what went on. And at the end of it all, even though we had some people on my dad's head at first, by the time we were done that second night, he got a lot of respect.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people looked at him like, wow, he deserves this credit because he allows, he sat there to have that conversation. That's where a lot of preachers won't have that conversation with us, or we get ridiculed, or we come in with our questions, or we come in with information and they push us away and all of that. Well, after that, before I left Cleveland, Ohio, I was getting ready to get on the road. And like Kel said, if you see the second part to the video, you'll hear my mom come into the conversation. And my mom she's not feeling it because she feels like it's a father and son going at each other. The people just want to see drama. And what we were trying to explain to my mom is, Mom, listen, this might not be for me, Kev, and my dad. This is for somebody watching in the chat. You feel what I'm saying? Somebody is listening to this conversation, the differences of beliefs and opinions or whatever, and somebody's getting something out of it. So before I left, I called my mom and I tried to tell my mom, like, Mom, it wasn't as bad as you think. It wasn't as bad as you think, man. And I'll tell y'all, man, I'm a mama's boy, man. You feel what I'm saying? I'm crazy about my mama. You feel what I'm saying? And so I tried to explain to her, like, Mom, it wasn't as bad as you think it was, Mom. A lot of people they respect my dad for what he did. Even though his belief is different, they respect him. They gain, a deep respect for him because he's at least listening to what we're trying to present, stuff that's been hidden from us for years, all our lives, because we found a lot of things blindly. It wasn't such an easy conversation with my mom as it was my dad. And it hurt me. You feel what I'm saying? I left that conversation. I hung that phone up and I got back on the road to leaving Cleveland, headed back to Atlanta. And I was just sitting in the car and I was crying. I was just crying. Like, you had to be on the other end of that phone to hear what seemed to be so much anger coming from my mom. And I mean, some of the things I heard come from her. You feel what I'm saying? As a Black spiritual leader in our community, it hurt me. It hurt me bad. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't do nothing. But I tried. I got in that car. I got on that road, headed back to Atlanta, And I tried not to let it bug me. I tried not to, but I just found myself crying. I sat in that passenger seat and I was crying. Tears were just coming down my face. You know what I'm saying? I got my kids in the back looking at me, my girl driving, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just, just wiping my face because I left there. I hung that phone up feeling like, man, my mama hate me. My brothers, my sisters, they hate me because I no longer believe in what we were brought up to believe. Because, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to present information to them that's been hidden from us that we didn't know coming up and that we didn't check to find out about. We just followed this stuff blindly, followed it. And now when I got older and I started to question things and things wasn't adding up and you know what I'm saying? And you get to find out certain information and you're looking like, no, this ain't right. It just hurt, man. It just hurt. I mean, I know my mama and I know my brothers and sisters, they love me, man. But at the same time, I hung that phone up, hurt. I hung that phone up feeling like, man, my mama hate me right now.
See, like, when I woke up, man, I had told some family members how I felt, And see, my mother died when I was 3, right? She was 33 years old. She died of stomach cancer, right? Stomach lining cancer. And they told me my mother was going to be turning in her grave. So just imagine how that made me feel. You feel me? So, I mean, my whole entire life, I was told that my mother really loved me, right? But my life sucked. You feel me? So, like, I didn't really grow up with a lot of love around me. You feel me? And I used to always be like, God, why would you take the one person from me who would have really stood by me and took care of me? You feel me? Why you let her die? Like, you feel me? I just felt like it's just wild. And so, there's already this feeling because when you grow up, what they do is it catches you at a moment where you traumatize. I lost my mother, so now they tell me she's in heaven. You feel me? And I'm gonna see her again one day, and then someone tells me that God is gonna use me because of all the pain I've been through. You feel me? So like one day, all this stuff that you're going through, God gonna come. It's gonna all come back because God is saving you for something, right?
Yeah.
He's preparing you. You consecrated. Right?
All this stuff for a reason.
It's all for a reason. And so it already hurts.
One window closed, another one.
Absolutely. So it's like it already hurt losing that, right? When I learned that Jesus never existed historically, Callie, man, I was like, so you mean to tell me all this I went through don't mean like my mama just dead,
man.
Right? No, like man. I'm talking about, I don't think I really accepted my mama being dead until I realized ain't nothing. There's no reward, no nothing coming from this. You feel me? And so to be so when I told my family member, this Jesus never existed historically. It was an allegory, right? I'm like, it was about you, right? It's about you reaching enlightenment, right?
Thing.
And they was like, your mother. Now let me just tell you because okay, here's how I said it, right? And when I say this, you're gonna be like, bro, what better way to explain it? I said, okay, where was Jesus crucified? She said Calvary. I said, okay. I showed her in my phone right there. Calvary is Golgotha, place of the skull, cranium. At Calvary, when your Kundalini energy, Jesus represents the age of Pisces, which is the feet. When the Kundalini energy rises to the pineal gland, which is Aries, because that represents the head, it is in the cranium that you will be crucified. I'm talking, and that when you will start speaking the truth, and people will literally slay you with their words.
Oh my God.
Right? Now watch this.
I tried to explain it too.
I said all of that. I said rise and shine, right? Mm-hmm. He dwells in temples not made of hands. Every little thing, every scripture you can think of, bro, I laid it on her. I'm thinking that it's gonna be like a rude awakening. As soon as I said it, she said, your mother would be turning in her. I'm like, ouch! Like you said that to me. Like you see what I'm saying? Like
after my life.
And here's the sad part. You didn't even look up what you just okay. I'm telling you something you never heard, right? And you're just gonna repeat. You're just gonna come right back, right? And like it blows my mind. Like at least look up what I said, man. And then if I'm wrong, then you can come back and say all of that. But you can't even prove me wrong, and you still gonna say this stuff. Like how am I supposed to help you if you're gonna be acting like that? You see what I'm saying? It's almost like you take a key to a slave. This slave got the shackles on right here, and you like I can help you. I can put this key in. That key won't fit. How do you know?
You ain't even gonna.
As soon as you try to put the key and they jerking their hands away from you. Like you just want to be a slave.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it makes you feel. And it's very painful, man. Like, I know exactly what you mean.
Happy on the plantation.
Mm-hmm.
It's very painful. It's Absolutely. Very painful, man. I mean, and that was my thing. Like, at least look into what I'm saying. Look into what I'm trying to tell you. But, and I won't say what she said to me that really, it really hit me hard. But it had to do with our ancestors. And, it just hurt me. It hurt me because you are a spiritual Black leader in the community. And to make that comment,
I know.
it made me cringe, like, whoa, like, and it makes me say, I think we need to find out from some other Black pastors in our community how they feel about their ancestors. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Because obviously there are some who have, it hurt, man. It hurt me, man, because what people don't understand is this. Some of the slaves that were born as slaves, they died as slaves. They never saw a day of freedom. And if you sit and you watch what our ancestors went through, the beatings, the torture, the castrations, all of that.
Dude, that's even like, of course, and if you guys haven't heard it, Why Are You Afraid? You can check that out on YouTube. It's called Why Are You Afraid to Tell Your Family You're Not a Slave? Mm-hmm. And this song, or this poem, speak about being castrated and then hung. Now, of course, we know the Black male is supposed to be known for being hung, right? Which means being lengthy, right? Mm-hmm. But we known for being hung, right? So when I say castrated and hung, I give it a moment to let it sink in, right? And so I say the Bible says if a man has no genitals, then he's doomed to hell. Thank you very much, Ms. Teach. Yes, and someone commented and said, well, the Bible actually says if a man has no genitals, he cannot enter the assembly of the Lord, which means he cannot do fellowship, right, with the Israelites and get to God. How does that mean he's doomed to hell? So I said, you tell me, if a person cannot get into the assembly of the Lord, and back then, supposedly there was no Bibles, only literature, only oral law. Only oral law. So if a person cannot get into the assembly to learn oral law, how are they going to get into heaven, man? And the same God says if you can't have a flat, if you can't have a flat nose, you can't be crippled. You can't have a bad eye, and you can't come pray to this man. Get under the knowledge of this man unless you perfect, unless you just beautiful. What God would think that way? You see what I'm saying? So when you think about this, the psyche to already be enslaved, mm-hmm. to be convinced that it's your duty to be a slave because you was worshiping the wrong God, mm-hmm. right? So you can't fight back. You have to be a good slave. Thank you very much, Jerry. You have to be a good slave. Now, on top of you being a good slave, they can hang you, castrate you, and send you to hell because you ain't got a penis now. Yeah. And then just imagine this, man. Imagine a slave looking at another slave hung, and he's castrated, thinking, as good a slave as he was. Now he ain't getting into heaven. Yeah. This was their psyche. They had these people convinced that you didn't have everything they said. Exactly. So they was castrating us to everything. And just think, if this Bible literature is real, this means the people who believe in this God, that God was allowing these people to cut their penises off so they would go to hell, allowing them to do that. Now, y'all really cannot believe that, So when you think about this stuff, man, it's like you show them the proof right in front of their face, and the amount that we went through, man, they had barrels. Right. You couldn't even laugh in front of them, okay? You had to laugh in barrels, man. Just imagine how humiliating that is. Look that up, laughing barrels. They fed us to alligators. You see what I'm saying? Right. Just so they could make shoes out of the alligators and stuff like that. I got called alligator bait when I was in high school. Didn't even know what that meant. You got called alligator bait? That's crazy. Anybody in the South, you ever get called alligator bait? Give me a yes. Give me a yes real quick. South, they call you all kind of names. It's crazy. School teachers. Yeah. It'll blow your mind. I got called that in the gym. We playing volleyball. and I'm eating them up. Like, I'm athletic. So I'm sitting here spiking everything. Blah, 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 right? And I spiked it down. This white dude said, quit bragging and shut your pie hole, alligator bait. I was mad about Paul. I'm thinking, Paul? I didn't think about alligator bait. You feel me?
Like, you want me to shut up?
Yeah, dude, and I'm thinking, how you...
too. When I went inside of that church that night, right, as my father invited me to come in there, I assumed we were going to, be able to ask the people questions. I misunderstood what he was saying about the format he wanted to do as far as doing the doing the conversation. But anyway, as it went on Facebook Live, right, I wanted to step in there. I wanted to, when he said I could come to the church and do this, I definitely accepted, because this is, for one reason I accepted was because I wanted to ask people on the spot the questions I had to ask. You feel what I'm saying? Because I was going to do it in a documentary form, but I didn't want people to say, oh, he was just asking random Christians who don't know nothing. I wanted to ask people on the spot, how much did you research about this literature that you read? How much? Like, you know what I'm saying? Not only that, how much did you research about your own history? You feel what I'm saying? We know everything about this Bible. You feel what I'm saying? We know everything about what was given to us. How much do you know about your own? So as I was in the church, I was asking questions, and you could clearly see. I mean, the people were answering the questions exactly how I expected them to answer. They didn't know. They didn't know the stuff that I was presenting. They didn't even know.
Completely.
You feel what I'm saying?
Completely.
So, this is all I'm telling people. We believe this to be the word of God. Like, we believe this to actually be the word of an all-knowing, all-loving God.
Man, people read this Bible.
As you say, Cam, all means all, and that's all will ever mean.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. And it's like, just think about it, man. You talk about okay, number one, let's just I'm just going to throw out a number. I'm just going to spitball it, okay? Take a stab in the dark, as they say. 99%, look, I went super high. 99% of Christians don't read their Bible.
For real, that's a good assumption.
People might say, man, that's just a high number. Come on, Kev, you're being unfair. Like, let's be honest, man. Most people who say they're Christians, they only claim Christianity because their parents were Christian. That's the only reason. Exactly. They don't even go to church. Then you have those who go to church every now and again. Then you have those who go to church faithfully and still don't read their Bible. You understand? Or they'll review the scripture that the pastor gave them, right? Or that he taught about that day. Or they'll highlight it when he preach about it, but they're not about to crack that thing open after that. You see what I'm saying? That thing is stay in the car until the next week. Right. It's time to go back.
If God is an all-loving God, if he says that this is what love is,
right? Yeah, absolutely.
That made me
right.
I never heard a pastor preach about that.
Right. So
you feel what I'm saying?
Right. And here's the thing, man. So, like, why? You're a Christian. Why haven't you read the Bible? Okay, because here's the problem, bro. You think God, I'm talking about, you think the God of the universe who created everything inspired this book, and you ain't read it. Like, you're not a Christian? You see what I'm saying? Like, how you not going to read the book, the one book you think God put here for everybody to read? Like, you think all the answers in the world are in this book, and you don't even read it. You don't believe that, man. Like, you see what I'm saying? If you thought right now, if you really thought a God had a book for you, you're going to read it because you want to know what would God have to say? You see what I'm saying? Right. And so it makes you wonder. It's like, number one, you don't read it, and you still mad when I challenge it. And then when you do read it, you can't understand it because it's cryptic language. Thus and thou art. You don't even know what that crap means.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, again, a God going to speak in cryptic language, right? Thus, thou, and art. Words you don't even use. We don't even have those words in the English language. Right?
He's not the author of confusion.
Right. He ain't the author of confusion, though. Right? And then you'll read a scripture and be like, well, I don't understand this. I'm going to pray for the Lord to reveal it to me. And then when you still don't understand it, you say, well, he'll reveal it when he's ready. The sheer fact that you want to understand that scripture and don't know it it has to be proof that this man ain't there. Because why would he hold back knowledge from you?
Or they go ask the pastor and say that God revealed it to them through pastor.
Right, yeah, God revealed it through him.
Like, stop playing.
Absolutely, man. And it's deep.
I think it's just, you know, a lot of these pastors, and Kev, I don't know if you really pay attention to my page.
I do.
We done ran some pastors off my page.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Off my Facebook page. Because when I start asking simple questions that do not require Bible verses, once you take that Bible away from them,
they got nothing. They got nothing, man. I promise you. Remember Leonardo DiCaprio? Whenever they was holding on to that one piece of wood on the Titanic.
Oh, yeah.
You know how slow he fell down? Like, into the abyss? That's how they fall. You take that Bible from them. It's over.
Let me tell you, Kev. Let me tell you. Just the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just the other day. I sat on my page and I entertained this.
Mm-hmm.
I just entertained this. I have a post on my page. And I said, I'm still waiting for one of my Christian family to tell me, why is the Bible called the Son Book? I said, I'm still waiting on that answer. So I had somebody come on my post, and I entertained this all day long. All day long. We danced and we danced and we danced all day long around this topic. And at the end of it all, you still told me what you believe.
Right.
What you believe. I said, it doesn't matter what you believe. Because I was told something about it doesn't, it was something, I was told something about it doesn't matter that it's called the Son Book or something. I said, it doesn't matter what you believe. A fact is a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what, this is what it was. They were asking me, well, what do you believe in? What do you believe in? I said, it doesn't matter what I believe in. It doesn't matter if I'm Muslim, atheist, or whatever. It's still called the Son Book.
Crap.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter.
Absolutely. And that's how they do, man.
Why is it called the Son Book? Help me out here.
Right.
Like,
and if
help me out.
Mm-hmm. And if you show them, before it was called the Son Book, of course, which you're talking about is Helios Biblios, right? Or Helios Biblos.
Right, exactly.
The character in that book at that time was called Jesus, right? IHS, for those that don't know, H in Greek is a E. Okay, so there's no E in Greek. That H is eta, right? That's the sound of it. So it actually makes an E sound, S sound. That's what H does. So Jesus, okay, which means son, Zeus. That's exactly what it does mean. Okay, so, and now you every picture you see of Jesus, he's gonna have a halo behind his head or a sun behind his head. He is clearly the sun. It's the Bible's plagiarized from mapping the sun, like literally following the sun through the zodiac, and then these people were put into character names. Now, then the Bible changes those character names into like Paul, right? Matthew, names. Daniel, David, nice Goliath. They give you those names, and then you believe those people are real, but they're all stars, right? Thank you very much, Michelle. Now, I'm gonna read this because I'm about to let Pay Homage come in, and I just want to set this for you guys. Love, the word love. We love the people who has hurt us, right? You love your mother, Callie. You love your mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, but now just look at this word love, right? When you hear this word love, does it always mean I care for you and I want to protect you? I would never harm you. Because I want you to consider this. Love can be deceiving, right? You always have to be clear. It's always about the action. You understand what I'm saying? A person who manipulates another person would tell them they love them, even if it's just to get them to do something they want to do, right?
True.
If a woman hurts her husband, her spouse, or a man hurts his spouse, right, and she's about to leave, he or she may say, I love you, right? A man may punch his wife in the face and say, I do this because I love you, right? Now, we're taught that God is all love. Which love? Right? Which love? Because we're looking at a person who will suck you into the earth if you complain about him killing you too much. Well, have you killed a person laying next to you because you worship the wrong thing? Right? We're talking about a person who don't mind if 4 bears rip up 42 children for calling a man baldy. Right? This is the person that we're talking about. But I'm going to tell you what the Bible's literature said that love is. And let's see if this relates to the biblical God. It says love is patient. It's already we already lost. Love is kind. Love does not envy. Envy is jealousy. Don't we remember one of the commandments say, don't put any other gods before me, because the Lord your God is a jealous God whose name is jealous?
He's jealous.
His name. So love doesn't envy, but put no gods before me, because the Lord your God is a jealous God whose name is jealous. Right? Okay. Love does not boast. Man, how many times does the Bible say ain't nobody greater than he? Right? There's nobody better than him.
The
right?
whole Job.
Right. I know the end from the beginning. I know it, right? To Job.
This man Job was boasting.
Right. He didn't even explain to Job why he did it. Who made the Mazzaroth? Which means zodiac. Yeah. Which means constellations. Right? So check this out. Okay. Love does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. Really? It don't dishonor. You put a daggum on Cain's head for killing his brother. And like you put a whole tattoo on Cain's head for killing his brother. You don't dishonor other people.
But you know, Kev, you taking it out of context, though.
Yeah, I'm taking it all out of context.
Yeah. You already know that's what you already know.
You already know that.
Right.
You already know. Look, it's not self-seeking. Come on now. Come on. It's not easily angered. God calls Moses up on the Mount Sinai to have him write the 10 Commandments. He's up there for 40 days. The Israelites get impatient and worship a golden calf, and 3,000 of them had to die. God says to Moses when he sees them worshiping the golden calf, your people worshiping false gods, I'm going to kill them all. I'm going to kill them all. Right. The very same people he just freed from Egypt and killed the firstborn of all the Egyptians, not just the firstborn of the Egyptians, though, the animals and everything. If you was the firstborn in Egypt, you died that night. Well, if you didn't have lamb's blood over your door, right? Right? So just think about this. I'm going to free all y'all from Egypt, but I'm going to kill all of y'all for worshiping. Like, what's the point? You know everything. Right. So you know everything. So you knew you was going to free us from Egypt. You knew you was going to worship this golden calf, and you knew you was going to kill all of us until Moses said, don't kill them all. Oh, okay. Let's just kill 3,000 of them then. And you patient. How you patient? Dude, patience would have said, do not worship me in that way, right? I am not a golden calf. I am not an idol. I am your God. I'm in the sky. I'm invisible, right? You don't use another item to worship me. That's what you would have said, not kill 3,000. What's the lesson in that to the people that had to die? They had to die that night. What lesson did they learn? Because where did they go when they died? I know God didn't let them into heaven.
Nope. Right after he killed them.
Yeah, like, boom, you get to go meet Jesus. That's like an early gift, because they didn't have to stay in the daggum wilderness for all those years, because they got to go to heaven early. That would be a blessing. You know that ain't about to happen, right? You worshiping false gods. You think God gonna allow you to be killed and let you into heaven? No, them people went to hell, right? All right, so let's just finish this. This is just one scripture I'm reading, man. It says that, now it's about to get crazy. It's not easily angered. We already went through that. And it keeps no record of wrongs. When you get to so-called heaven, there is a book supposedly called the Lamb's Book of Life, where you are going to be. You say love keeps no record of. What? Side face. I mean, come on, bro.
I mean, when you start to question this stuff, it's like,
it's like,
hello.
Do they believe it?
But he said he all love, though.
Take this out of.
And he said he all love. I ain't love.
You not love.
I really don't care about you. Because this what love really is.
Absolutely. It's not.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Once you start to question these things, like we didn't question these things coming up. You feel what I'm saying? Now, once you start to question these things, now you're looked at as you're Satan now.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You're Satan, or you're an atheist, or you know what I'm saying, and all of that. And it's like, no, I'm reading what's in your book. Mm-hmm. I'm reading what's here, man. Mm-hmm. Like how much more context can we take this out of? Anything that challenges what's in that book is out of context.
Thank you very much.
Come on, man.
Hey, hang on, Tacoma. I'm going to let somebody know something. They say, why would they slay a lamb? They didn't actually slay a lamb. Again, the Bible is not historical at all. It is an allegory. The reason that they literally slayed a lamb is because at that time, the sun was going through the zodiac of Aries, and Aries is a ram, okay? So this is why Abram, which is the root name of Abraham. Many of you read about it. You know his name is Abraham, right? If you look up Moses, just look up statues of Moses. He has horns, right? Aries is a fire sign. Moses saw a burning bush, right, and went to Egypt to say, "Let my people go," after the age of Taurus, which represents bondage, which represents yoke of bondage, right? So the Israelites were enslaved. That's Taurus. The next constellation is going to be the ram, Aries. That's why they painted the ram over the door. And then the age of Taurus is supposed to be over, and these Hebrew Israelites are still worshiping a golden calf, a freaking bull, and God don't like it because the age. Now, what I'm telling you, when I say God doesn't like it, I'm telling you that the sun doesn't like it, okay? Mm-hmm. Like the sun, to tell this story, we're moving from the age. You look at the sun now; it's moving through boom, 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 right? It's going from Taurus into of course Aries, okay? And then from Aries you go into the next one. But when you're looking into the stars, when I say that God doesn't like it, I'm literally talking about figuratively, allegorically. God doesn't like it because the age of Apis was over. If you read the Bhagavad Gita or the Vedas, Krishna also, look up Krishna. You'll see this dude sitting around all kind of bulls because it represents Taurus, okay? Now, read the Vedas. And when the age of Taurus is over, watch Krishna put them hands on that bull. Just look up Krishna. Right. And you're going to see that Krishna boxing this bull, like giving that bull the works. Like I'm not playing. Yeah. What's up, Queen? Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Earl. Earl, man, listen, brother, you won the shirt last week, brother. I was trying to reach you last week. Josh, let me know if that was the same Earl. Earl, if you donated $50 the week before last, we were having a raffle where we were giving away a Beta Evolution shirt. And if that's you, man, you won that shirt. I was trying to find you on Facebook. If that's you, please let me know. Let me know, Josh.
Claim your prize.
So that's why the ram was slayed. Of course, this is why Jesus is the ram. This is why, Abraham, right? Abram was told to kill his own son, right? And there was a ram in the bush, right? And then Jesus died on the same exact mountain, supposedly, as where this ram was found in the bush. He was the precious Lamb of God. Aries, because on the zodiac body chart, Aries represents the top of the head, the leader. Because when you're talking about Rome, they started their year in March under Aries. That's why it starts with Aries. Okay. If you look at the Last Supper, the man on the far left represents Aries. He's got his hand over the table, leaning at the head of the table, and you can see all the zodiacs follow right after that, right? So and you can go to YouTube. I actually broke that down, the whole Last Supper, everything for you guys.
I share it all the time. Share it all the time.
Absolutely. So when I talk about this stuff, guys, we may seem really passionate. We don't believe God did this stuff, or any God did this stuff for that matter. We know it's allegory, but we talk like this for people who do believe this, right? When we say, man, God killed all these, when we don't really we say God flooded the earth. He evil for that. The reason God floods the earth is because the sun was in the zodiac of Cancer. The reason that Noah built the ark is because Cancer is a crab who was in a shell. Okay? God didn't really flood the earth. Cancer is an emotional sign, right? It represents cleansing. It represents love, and it also represents destroying you. Water can help you, it can heal you, and it can crush you and drown you at the same time. So this loving God he has to be emotional under the zodiac of Cancer. How else you going to teach it to your kids, right? So you're going to show God being emotional, the sun being emotional under this zodiac. You feel me? And now Noah builds this ark and gets protected while this Cancer does its thing, which means to cleanse, okay? That's what it means. So when we say, man, God is evil, right? He killed the whole world. That was the best. That was the only, he all-knowing, and that was the best thing he could do. We're being sarcastic. We're being facetious because we know this didn't happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. And people, but when we talk like this, people say you mad at God. Well, I mean, from your perspective, but we can't be mad at somebody we don't believe in.
That's not it.
Yeah. You see? So if I say, man, ain't no way Wolverine had no freaking adamantium claws. No way. Right? You hate Wolverine. I don't believe in Wolverine. Yeah. That's impossible. You see what I'm saying? I mean, we can all pick from cartoons we grew up watching. Like, I don't like the fact that Gohan stopped fighting. Yeah. Like, this dude beat Cell, and all of a sudden was like weak again. Like, man, I thought Gohan was supposed to be the man. That don't mean I believe in Gohan. You see what I'm saying? We can do this all day, you know. Right. But so I want you to.
It's hard, man. I mean, when you get to asking just simple questions like that, man. Like, Kev, I just asked a question the other day on my page too, because I was asking. I said, we thank Jesus for everything that went good, that goes good with us. But when things go bad with us,
Blame the devil.
we blame the devil for it. And I hit you up and I asked you, I said, wait a minute, Kev, like, don't the devil have to get permission to touch us?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, according to this literature though, according to this book that, don't the devil have to get permission to touch us? So that means Jesus gave him permission. You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Like, when you get to asking just simple questions like that, like, why we don't blame Jesus? He created the devil.
Well, you better not blame Jesus, right?
No,
Yeah.
But Jesus is perfect. I mean, that's just the way it is, man.
No,
it's
but
almost
I just ask questions. I just ask questions for understanding.
Right,
and,
absolutely.
And as the topic of this show is, why do we get crucified?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? For asking the questions. And that's what we do. We get crucified.
Right.
I tried to explain to my mom. Like, she felt my dad got crucified in the comments. You know what I'm saying? In the discussion we had. Like I told my mom, we get crucified way worse.
Yeah, you have no idea what we go through. Like, period.
No idea. We get crucified way worse.
They think it's just the comments, bro. Man, we get death threats. Man, we get all kind of crazy stuff in our inboxes, man. Like, they don't even, like, I was telling Callie the other day.
Hey, they ruthless when it come to their Jesus.
Absolutely. I was telling Callie the other day, and I just want to say it right now in front of everybody. I was giving my man like mad props because how long you been woke up? How long you been conscious or free from religion?
Like
you know what I mean?
About my second year now.
Second year. Let me tell you something, man. This I've known him for a good 6 months now, 7 months now, right? And this man has been at it there's not a single day that's went by that I haven't seen this man take an effort towards waking people up, right? And I know that because I've been the same way. You feel me? And it's like to put so much into the world, into the universe, into the communities, and into the lives of your loved ones, and still get so much hate and ridicule, and be at it. That's love. Okay, love is consistency. Love is continuing to keep trying because you care about somebody. That's what love is.
Right.
Even when somebody doesn't tell you what you want to hear, you still continue to try to help them. That's what love is not. I hate you because you don't agree with me, right? I don't want to talk to you because you don't agree with me. That's not love. And I don't know why we've been trained to believe that. We all need to look in the mirror, man, because we got to understand the stuff we believe in, we cannot see it, okay? Your family, your children, your mother, your husband, your wife, your brothers and sisters, you see them. Like, you can't deny that they're there. Your Bible says, love your neighbor like yourself, right? Now, if you believe in the Bible, how are you going to cut somebody off? Don't the Bible tell you if somebody is thinking this way, now, especially if it's a spouse, that you're not to leave them? You might be the only way for them to even get back in. But you're going to do them like that, though. Like, please show me where that's right. If your God is real, you will be protected anyway.
But look, they're going to justify that with, what the Bible say, if your eye cause you pain, gouge it out.
Right, exactly. Of course. and that's the whole thing. Like, and what's the logic in that?
If your head cause you strife, chop it off.
Right, absolutely.
What?
And again, we fighting with scriptures, and we're not thinking. You know what I'm saying? We're really not thinking about maintaining a relationship because at most times, because let's talk about this. When I first got here, Pay Homage and myself was talking about this is not with just scripture. This is with anything, with our family, especially if you're in the South and they have a history, a closer history to slaves. Because
that's right. My
grandmother, you can't talk back. And when I say talk back, I mean you can't say but nothing. I'm gonna tell you something. One time, my grandmother had some Fig Newtons, okay? And somebody stole some Fig Newtons out of her Fig Newton pack, okay? Ooh. Now, she gonna whoop everybody in the house. Until the person admit they ate the Fig
Somebody
Newtons.
Speak up, huh?
Right, absolutely. So, my sister heavy set, right? So, my grandma think it's her.
What?
Like, how cold is that? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's her, right? So, I'm sitting there like, okay, it was me. Because I'm not going to let her get up. I didn't think she did it, right? So, I took the whooping for her. You feel me? Now, I go to my grandmother after that to say, Grandma, I know Toya didn't eat them, but I didn't either. She slapped me in the mouth. Because she said I was talking back, right? And I'm talking about no matter what, dude, if she told you something and knowing it wasn't right, because again, man, my grandmother couldn't read, okay? So a lot of things I'm going to come home from school saying she didn't know, right? Mm-hmm. And I had to hold it in because it was going to offend her. Mm-hmm. She told me when it was storming outside that it was because God was doing his work. Mm-hmm. She didn't tell me nothing about nothing else, about evaporation, about clouds, cumulus clouds, nothing. She just told me that God literally out there, like he busy. That's what she would say. He busy right now. Like that's what he doing. Like can't nobody pray to him while it's storming. In my mind, I'm thinking the whole world storming right now. Yeah, it's storming everywhere. So to a child, it's not like she literally was making my mind small as hers. You feel me? So now I go to school and I'm sitting in school like Bobby Boucher. Right? Can you tell me why it rained? Because mama said, my mama said, my mama said, my mama said, right? And I'm sitting here looking like an idiot. I come home to say, Grandma, right? This is how rain, man, my grandma ain't trying to hear that, right? We're going to have a big argument because you cannot talk back. And if you do, you getting a beating, right? And so imagine this is just information. I'm talking about you dealing with ego. Now imagine bringing information about their God not existing. Imagine the ego in that, because their whole identity is tied to being a child of this person. Okay? They think they communicate with this person every day. You think you about to tell these people that they're praying to no one and they're not going to get mad at you. I can understand getting hurt or saying, okay, I understand how you feel, because me telling you you're praying to no one doesn't make it a fact, right? You can hear the information, go back, do the proper, and of course, research is scary to them, right? So, of course, we can come to them with as much information as we can, and then they'll start, chopping it down by saying, well, how you know that's true?
That's right.
How you know that? I mean, but somebody wrote that too, right? And then somebody wrote that too. And it's like, okay, you're trying to find, I'm talking about, okay, so then it gets to the point to where it's like, okay, forget astrology. I'm not going to tell you the attributes of Aries no more and tell you about it's a fire sign and it's a burning bush. I'm just going to say this. Look in the sky. Because, man can write stuff. You're right. But let's look at the sun and what zodiacs it go through in what order. And tell me don't emulate your Bible. You see what I'm saying? Right. Then they don't want to hear it again. And it becomes a thing where I'm not your son no more. I'm not your brother. I'm not your wife or husband no more, because I now have a different perspective than you. Now, here's the thing. Most of us who understand this literature, the way it's meant to be, we actually find it beautiful. We actually find the allegory and the motif actually cool, the way they wrote about the sun. We don't hate the book. We actually think it's pretty cool. But if you think it's literal, you're wrong, Unfortunately, there is no person that's coming back to get you via a white horse in the sky. Like, there's no Jesus gonna crack no sky open like no thief in the night. It is not gonna happen. But with no further ado, I'm gonna bring in Pay Homage and let him talk about some of his life in the church and then kind of what happened whenever he exposed his information. So,
all right. So I grew up here in Charlotte, and so I grew up in church pretty much since I was born. I guess I was pretty much born in church, man. And so starting out in church, I ain't gonna lie. Since I was a little kid, I always thought, think to yourself, like people say, oh, I'm free from religion now. And I'm woke now. I think being woke and being free from religion is two totally separate things, because you wake up so many times in religion, so many things click in your mind. You'll be sitting in church and be like, that don't sound right, but we praising, whatever. You wake up many times, you just don't think to yourself. You don't research. You don't look at it again. You don't go back and think on that first initial thought that this don't sound right. But you look around and you see everybody else clapping, so you just clap too and let it go. You stuck in the religion still, even though you just woke up, you went back to sleep. So I used to wake up constantly to stuff in church. And it got to the point where, dude, I had to fake like I was saved, like just to keep my parents off my tail. Like I had to literally go in church and look at everybody else and find, okay, this is a good time for me to act like I got the Holy Ghost. Like literally wait for a good time and let my mom, make sure my mom see me over here praising and crying. Make sure my dad see me over here praising and crying. So when we get home, they'll be like, oh, he trying to get his life right. He trying. But if I'm not doing that, then they're going to look at me and say, You need to get literally everything I do, I need to get my soul right with God. Like my mom will call me in the room to get something off the table right in front of her. And I will say, well, why you couldn't just grab it yourself? You called me all the way in here to do that. I'm not your slave. And that is enough right there to trigger either a butt whooping or a tongue lashing, or probably both. And simple things in life, as how does all life pertain to the Bible constantly? Like I went to school and I'm not that good at math in this grade. So I'm getting a failing grade. So I'm now getting a butt beating, and I need to get my soul right with God because I got a failing grade in math. How about I might need a tutor, or I might need a little bit more help in math? Right. What does math have to do with my soul? What does do? We will go to church twice a Sunday, in the morning and at night. Now I got to go to school in the morning at 7 a.m. bright and early. We in church at 11 to 12 at night, and I'm falling asleep. So one night I fall asleep in church, and I get left by both my parents. One of my parents drove one car, thought my mama was taking me. One of my parents drove the other car, thought my daddy was taking me. So my grandma took me home. Why did I have to get a whooping?
It's crazy.
Why did I have to get a whooping? My dad showed up and was like, come on over here, boy. My grandma was like, what you whooping him for? Because he fell asleep in church. I got to go to school in the morning. I'm tired. Right. I'm a little kid who has to be at school at 7 a.m. There is no reason for me to be up at 12:30.
No, it's the Lord anyway. It's very important that you get indoctrinated. It's very, very important. That's talking about
free will again.
Yeah, that's exactly
what I'm talking about. And that's what I was talking about in one of my posts too. In one of my videos I made, I said, a lot of us were forced because we get a lot of people that tell us this information that we're presenting now, we're forcing our belief.
And they like to tell you this. They like to tell you this. Boy, ain't nobody beat you in no relationship. What do you call it? What do you call it? Ain't nobody beat you into no religion, boy. Ain't nobody beat you on your back.
They know they forced you.
Like they know they did. I'm looking at them like, nobody beat me on my back.
We have to stop and look at that. We were forced to sit in Sunday service.
Bro, look. Watch this, Callie. Watch this. Jesus loves me, this I know. Rocking you to sleep.
Rocking you to sleep.
How you gonna not believe in that? Come on, if they had been saying Allah loves you, you'd have been saying Allah loves you. Mm-hmm. You see, as a child, man.
You didn't get a choice.
Right, absolutely. Man, you're dealing with parents who get excited because you say dada and mama as if a child understands the colloquialism and how to speak real words.
Yeah.
When a child say dada, mama, they don't know they saying you fathered me.
They just make it
I was made in your womb. But you'll be like, oh, snap, he said that. And it's like, the child doesn't know that. They're just using the word that they hear you say.
But if you say that out loud, something wrong with you. Like,
right.
Why you trying to ruin it? Like, the people crazy, man.
Right. So if a child say, you see these little kids thanking Jesus and trying to preach, now you think that child really know Jesus?
Yeah.
They're only speaking what they're regurgitating. Exactly. And you take this all the way into your adulthood. And like you said, you went to sleep in church, right? And what this does is, you get a whipping for it, and now it solidifies that church is that important. Right? Think about it. They know what they're doing. You go in there, you got to sit up straight. You can't chew gum. Like, it's like court, right? You got to go in there and just
got
be
the same chair,
straight. Like, yeah, you can't even, it's just like the same pews and everything.
Like court.
Absolutely. And so you sitting up there, like, obviously the pastor's in charge, right? He the alpha. Yeah, he wear a robe, just like they do.
Oh, my God.
Does he not? He's sitting behind the podium just like a judge, right? And then you got the jury over here, like the choir. You know what I'm saying? Literally, man, it's the same thing.
Amen, corner.
Absolutely. It's the same. And you're supposed to respond as if he's really breaking down the word of God. Mm-hmm. And if you fall asleep, it's a problem because this is important. This is the most important thing. Nothing was more important than listening in church. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Nothing, man. I remember I remember like as a child going to church, how afraid of it I was to hear them saying like hymnals and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? God, yeah. Like just the sound of it, you know what I mean? And like to be reading it, trying to say it well and stuff, and you don't know the tune and tone. And it's like, what's the point of this? Like, yeah, I guess when I was young, man, the few times that my grandmother did take me to church, it was to like a very old school, and that crap was just scary to me, man. And anybody in there can hit you too. Like I got slapped by an old lady with a hat on. And I don't even know what she looked like. Like, she had like a veil on. She had a whole brim hat.
And look look at this, it be especially the women who don't have kids. Like,
Right.
I used to notice in my church, women like be in their 50s and they don't got no kids. Them be the most abusive women. Like, oh, I can hit your kid?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. And they will amp on you, pinch you. We used to have what they call ushers.
Mhm.
That she literally used to walk around like a police.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Watching for people to
Yeah.
sleep the whole
Yeah.
church
with
service.
the mad face just frowning,
Yeah.
looking at you like,
Things like that.
With her white gloves on, waiting to
Mhm.
pinch your ear off because you sleep in church.
absolutely. And when I say this lady, she had this big brim hat on, and she had this like veil, it like a sheer cloth that came down over her face, had a bunch of black polka dots.
I know what
I mean, you see, my mom got signed by the Grim Reaper. Dude, I'm not playing. Out of nowhere, it was like, what? I'm laughing and joking with my brother. Man, I don't even know who this lady was, dude.
Put your head
Yeah,
on.
so
Let
I'm
me
talking about-
ask you this, Kev.
Huh?
So when we're dealing with trying to explain things like this to our family members, to our parents, like somebody else who hasn't come out to their parents, what approach should they take? How should they approach
Rip the
this situation?
Band-Aid off.
Wow.
Or should they not approach it?
Well, I hold that. I'm gonna come right back to that. Somebody just asked Kevin, when you talk a little bit about the white gloves that women wear in church, things like that.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Of course, during slavery, they weren't allowed to touch, the white people, so they were made to wear a white glove. That's my understanding of it. Of course, I haven't thoroughly researched that out to see if that's 100% fact. So you guys are more than welcome to research that. More than definitely, I wouldn't deny, I wouldn't doubt it, just for the simple fact of what went on during slavery, the harshness of it. So it definitely,
Dude, just think about this. A man used to stand up in church, what they call that, the announcements, and say, after service today, there will be a nigga hanging in the courtyard.
Yeah, that's right.
and that's exciting. That's exciting. Pick a nick, right? We're gonna go here, bring some food, and just be entertained and watch this man hang. That's why when you guys look online and you see these pictures of these people hanging, you see a whole bunch of people out there gathered to watch it, right? And they don't even look
like
sick.
they're in a festival.
Right. Kids out there watching it, they don't even look sick to their stomach or nothing. And this is what was going on. So to think that this God is so good, but they letting people hang people right after church. You see what I'm saying, man?
Right.
Come on, man. We
Hey,
have
Kev,
to.
let me just, I see some people still asking about the white glove and stuff.
Okay.
I'm just like here, from what I understand, I don't know how true it is either, but it said that they wore the white gloves so they didn't touch the white people's hands, and they put one hand behind the back.
Yeah, do that still.
They put one hand behind the back so they wouldn't steal the money.
So they could always see their little black fingers.
That's the story of the ushers with the white gloves during slavery. Is what
I mean, you got a question,
again,
man. Like,
I don't know how true that is.
right. And if somebody say, well, Kevin, why would you tell people that if you don't know it's true? I told you guys to research it. And secondly, the Bible doesn't say. But I'm saying the Bible doesn't say ushers to wear white gloves, so you have to consider where this come from. So you have to consider it's a tradition and where the tradition come from. You feel me? So, Lishan, Josh had to log off. He's very tired, man. He had been up since 3 a.m. and I don't have the capability of doing it, brother. I'm sorry about that. But to answer your question, Callie, you said what are some choices or different directions people can take when revealing their information to their loved ones, right? Well, it's just a matter of
should they even do it?
It's a matter of what you willing to go up against. If you come at them direct, they very well may cut you off. Now it's dealing with the type of person that you're dealing with too, but you also can't take it because so my man right here, he went through a lot of child abuse as a child. You feel me? So now
they tied the religion to justify the child abuse. So for them to say anything, to admit anything about this religion would be to admit that I was abusing my child in the name of Jesus. And they just can't. I understand how humans are. Nobody likes to hear about themselves. Nobody wants to hear the truth or face the truth about themselves. I understand these things. But when your child is coming to you and you was there, You lived there. You know he was abused. You tried to stop him from being abused on several occasions. And he's literally grown now and telling you, I'm cool with it. I just want to talk about it. And for you to be, most parents, like, they can't fathom themselves being in a regular person relationship with a child. Even if you're 40, your mama's still going to tell you, I'm still your mama. Like, they can't even fathom you on the same level as them.
Right.
So they won't even give you a voice ever in your entire life for a lot of black kids. You never can say how you feel to your mother. Or is she just not going to deal with you? Or is she going to deal with you accordingly? Y'all going to have a bad relationship, cussing each other out, yelling, screaming, kicking, fussing until you give up. Because that's what I used to do. I just used to shut up and be like, I just don't want my mom to be mad at me. I don't even care. But now I care. Like, I want to know what y'all have to say for yourself. What you got to say for yourself. Because if you saying that you was trying to discipline me and get my soul right with Jesus, and I'm now telling you that he ain't real.
Wow.
Like that's to them. That's like I'm fighting. I'm fighting them in their mind, and I know that, and I don't care. But
thank you very much.
I do care.
and here's the thing, man. Someone said, let me just read it. It said, someone says you can't blame Christianity on abusive parents. Right, no one is doing that. I don't understand. If you just came in, we're blaming abusive natures on abusive parents.
Yeah.
Christianity got in it because Christianity is not real, is what we're saying. So, Islamic people rape women, kill people, enslave people. They enslave in Libya right now. We're not blaming Allah. You understand? Right. So this is not what we're doing.
We're saying that humans have this nature to dominate other humans already.
Absolutely.
And they're using these religions to make it okay.
Right, and they broke their religions to okay it.
To make it okay. It's cool. It's cool for us to beat the brakes off you. It's cool for us to beat you to the floor. It's cool for you to go pick your switch. It's cool for us to terrorize 8-year-olds. I done seen 2-year-olds get popped. And I be like, they literally just got on this planet.
Yeah,
what could they possibly have done to deserve to get hit? What could they have possibly done to get hit?
But that's what we do. We're taught that. You get mad, hit. Because when they got mad at you, they hit you. When your slave master got mad at you, they hit you. Mm-hmm. And it's just, it's called regurgitation. Whether it's with your mouth or with your body, you are mimicking what you were raised seeing. Right, that's why it's very important that if you find yourself with a child, it's time to really just separate yourself and think, because you do not want to raise your child the same way you were raised, right? You want to raise your child better than you were raised, to go further than you went, right? And the only way to do that is to raise them differently. You see what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. You're still going to have the child, and you don't know how strong their ambition and things like that are going to be. Because don't get me wrong, you can be a horrible parent, and your child can still end up amazing. But my whole thing is be the best parent you can be to give your child the best possible chance. That's all we can ask. You see what I'm saying? That's literally all we can ask. Your child has every potential to be smarter than you, go farther than you, and it's like passing the baton. Don't look at your life as your life. Look at your life and your child's life as your life. They are you, but another chapter of you. Why would you not want to have a better chapter? Right. I don't understand people, man. I really don't. Your children are you. Why wouldn't you give them the very best of what you have? How are you going to teach them something you don't even know is true? You see what especially in light of you knowing that there's other information showing it's not true. In 10 years, I mark my words, in 10 years, you won't be able to get 10 years old and be a Christian without hearing our perspective, without hearing the free thinkers perspective, because we waking up, man. We tired of it. We're tired of playing.
Yeah. Let me jump in real quick, and this is so crazy because I was just thinking this today. I said, man, it's going to be. This is finna get real.
Yeah.
And I said it. I said these pastors are about to be on the hot seat very soon, because we're in a new age now. We're not in the age of belief anymore. You feel what I'm saying? We're in the age of knowing now. We're in the age of information now. And these pastors are going to have hell on their hands because these kids are researching. Yeah. These kids are learning. They're researching and they're asking. I told somebody this just yesterday on Facebook. I said, if you're having a problem with the limited knowledge that I have right now, you're going to have a problem down the line, because these kids are going to be brilliant, and they're going to be asking way harder questions than what I'm asking right now. I'm just asking, why is the Bible called the Son Book?
Right.
Because, like,
you're having
dude,
a
and
problem
we
with
even
that.
raised in confusion. Like, your parents will tell you to trust God and buy you a stack of encyclopedias.
Right.
Like, all the information you need to debunk God, they will buy it for you, and then tell you to look at this Bible and don't trust that knowledge. Only have faith in God. Like, I literally would bring my encyclopedia to my parents and be like, check this out. And they like, you can't even tell a joke about Jesus. They'd be like, well, you better get out of here.
No.
You better get on with that. And no
Right.
Buddha.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, but this is in the encyclopedia, man. Like, are you
Right.
kidding me? Who's Gilgamesh?
Right, absolutely. Right.
It's in the
And
encyclopedia.
that's the thing. Okay, so you think about this. When you go to school and you read through these history books, right? None of them talk about Paul, Silas, Peter, Matthew, John, Mark, Luke. Why you don't hear about them in your history books? Because they're not historical. You see what I'm saying? And I try to. Okay, so I want to stay on topic. So my bad. He said that Pay Homage said that his father was very aggressive. Okay, but I think you said your mother was taught in a different way.
Yeah.
So whenever she reacted the way she did to you, that was unexpected.
It was unexpected to a certain extent. Like, my mom gets mad. I ain't know she would get that mad.
Okay.
I think that's probably the maddest. She was pretty mad about when I flat out said, okay, Ma, Jesus ain't real. I said it straight like that because I was tired of going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And I just finally was like, okay, Ma, Jesus ain't real. That was when the new level came. The new level. You got a reprobate mind. You going to hell. She laughed. Like, she thought it was funny.
Mm.
Like, she straight up was like, what you gonna do when you die? And you gonna be in hell? I was like, dude, like, she literally like thought I was an idiot. Like, she was like, I'm gonna be in heaven. You gonna be in hell. With your stupid self. And I was like, is this for real?
See, now, let me say this right here. When this happens, guys, understand what you're dealing with. That was not his mother. That was ego.
Mm-hmm.
Take this tic tac out so I can get for real. When you're dealing with ego,
Definitely.
they're projecting out on you what they see. So at the moment he said that, she saw an idiot. You know why? It disagreed with everything she was ever taught, and she has fully accepted the idea that this person existed. So you telling her something opposite from what she knows. Like, she knows
That's what
Jesus
she said.
exists.
I know Jesus
because
is
she's
real.
put all of her. See, listen, man. When someone invests into something, okay, they do not like to know they're getting screwed. You understand? The more they invest, the more excuses they make for why they invested. Mm-hmm. You see, if I get $1 from you, you might say, you ain't real. If I get $1 million from you, you're going to try to back me any chance you get because you don't want to be the idiot that gave me $1 million. You don't want to be the idiot who gave your whole life to somebody and he wasn't even real. Because that's how it makes you ego. You don't want to be the stupid one.
I tell her, I've felt that before.
Right, exactly. I've been through it. So you don't have to. So what I'm saying is, when this happens, don't even feel harm. Don't feel hurt because that's not them. That's simply ego,
mm-hmm.
right? That's a wall.
Mm-hmm.
That's saying, I know you wrong, but you know you don't know I'm wrong,
mm-hmm.
right? You don't even know why you believe God inspired this book. You can't even tell me why you really believe these men was hearing from some God. If it was wrote the way you thought it was wrote, it's really a collection of many books put together at the Ecumenical Councils of Rome, right? Voted in. That's what it is, right? A printing press printed it out, right? The Gutenberg printing press shipped all these books off. Now we have these Bibles, right? So when you really look at this, you're talking about Rome, who was responsible for it. Look at the world
you
now.
gotta pay for the Bible.
Right. Then you gotta pay for it.
But
Absolutely.
A lot of them don't even know that, Kev. They won't even look.
They don't even know that. That's what I'm saying. They think the Bible was just people who said, "What you want me to write, God?" Okay. Boom, boom. You cried blood. Okay. You sweating blood. Like, Come on, man. So you're talking about a book that's full of contradictions, full of things that nobody could have known.
Full of things that couldn't have happened.
Right, absolutely. You're talking about Jesus, who's supposed to be the Son of God, would literally need to find privacy to pray to himself, but you him. Please tell me the logic in praying to you. Like, you see what I'm saying? There's no, and then to say you sweating blood out of the stress of knowing you about to die, but you made the plan.
Mm-hmm.
You gave your own son, which is you. So it ain't your son then. It's you. You just chose a meat suit and came down here to look cool and called yourself your son. And so really, it ain't even your son. You see what I'm saying? It's you. If you took my brain out of my head and put it into his, he ain't my son.
Yeah.
That's me. You see what I'm saying? God put himself into Jesus and said it was his son. Right? And now we're supposed to be like, he gave away his only son. Why son? Why it gotta be daughter? Why can't it be daughter? Because sons mean more, right?
Yeah.
Your son is your heritage. They're the first person to get your lineage. All this bull crap. Right? We learn this.
Totally backwards.
Your son get everything from you. Right? Not your daughter, but your son.
Daughter.
This comes from putting the woman at the bottom, putting the man at the top. And we carry this all throughout, even in our lives now. Men think that they the head just because they got a penis.
That's
like
right.
your wife ain't got more information than you and can't give you better decisions to make and make y'all family and house better as a unit. But you the head, right? Just because you got a penis. Like, it just don't make no sense. And a lot of times, the wife is smarter.
Even men, like, if a man have,
you ain't did nothing, and you
talking have like 6 daughters, a dude will have 1 son and think he's more man.
Right, exactly. You make it
than the guy with 6 daughters.
Right, exactly.
Like, I make sons over here.
You want a boy,
baby boy can't miss. Like,
right.
Dude, that society is retarded.
It's crazy, man. And so when you're dealing with this type of stuff, what all it does is caters to your ego. So you have a child that's born looking for answers to the world, and you telling this child that there are no answers. I mean, there are no questions that has no answers because all the answers are in this book. So let's go ahead and quench your curiosity right now, okay? How did we get here? Oh, God created you. That's it.
And then they run straight to that book.
Right.
I ask questions, and you run straight to that book to tell me everything. That's so frustrating. That's so frustrating.
But see, bro, I was the type of kid, like, I went to
questions that have nothing to do with this book.
Absolutely. So again, it depends on what type of parent or loved one that you have, and that's going to be based on their reaction. Yeah. Because again, when you're dealing with someone when they're angry, of course, that's when that ego is going to step up, right? Come to the surface, and that's when they're going to insult you to protect themselves. Okay, it's a protection, a defense mechanism. Let me insult you, right? Yeah. Say it again.
Let me tell you.
Oh, he said you're right. Okay. Yeah. So
no. That it does. That does happen. It happens all the time. When We'll start out in a dialogue. But by the end of that dialogue, when they can't answer my question, that's when we start digging into my past.
They get like they God.
They start taking shots.
They start acting like God.
The insults come, and I'm like, how do we get here? How do we get here?
They judge you and send you to hell.
About this Bible.
Just like God.
Right, absolutely. And again, that's why I said, guys, that's called an ad hominem whenever that's used towards you. And he said, you guys have no answer to how we got here. And what's your point? You see, the reason you think you have an answer is because you have a Bible that you believe in that tells you how the earth was created. If you just go a step over and read the Quran, it'll tell you Allah created it. If you go read the Vedas, it'll tell you Vishnu or Brahma made it. So it's a different person in every religious book that gives their answer to how the world was created. Again, it quenches your curiosity and it builds your ego to make you think you know how you was created. Just because of, like, you're not about to tell me you only believe in the Bible because it tells you how you was created. That's why you believe in the Bible. All the bull crap in it. That's why you believe, like, right after God creates the whole entire world, he rested. Now you're talking about a person who's supposed to be unlimited. He rested. What does a God do when they rest? Please tell me that. Why would a God need rest? And people say, well, a day to God is 1,000 years. So God didn't build the world in 7 days. He built it in 7,000 days or 6,000 days. And then on the 7th day, he rested. So God slept for 1,000 years. That's what you're telling me.
And what did the world do then?
What the world do for a whole 1,000 years? It's just, it's crazy, man. It's like, okay, but at least it tells us how the world was created. Yeah, it also tells you how to make spotted lamb. It tells you, hey, have 2 lambs sleep with each other while they stare at a spotted branch, and they'll yield spotted sheep. Yeah. And, okay, so is that why you believe it? It's funny, man, because it's like, if I say I don't believe in the Bible, they don't say, well, how you get spotted sheep then? They just say, well, how you create the world? You see what I'm saying? It's like
a whole nother
level. Like, and if I don't have the answer to that question, it must mean that the Bible's the word of God now, right?
Yeah.
No, we got to lose that logic. Like you're only saying these things to protect yourself. It's time that you start doing the research, and saying that you don't know how the world was created is not enough. Someone earlier said that it's when you say that you don't believe in this literature anymore, they start accusing you of not having any morale. That's why I tell people, don't call me an atheist, don't call me an agnostic, don't call me nothing. I'm Kevin. I ain't even Kevin, okay? I'm a being, you understand? Because here's the thing. What do you call somebody who don't believe in Wolverine? An adult, right? What do you call somebody who don't believe in Santa Claus? An adult.
Yeah.
What do you call somebody who don't believe in the concepts of God they was given? An atheist, right? And if you give it a name, you gotta give it attributes, right?
Yeah.
So now it has to be no morale, right? Cold-hearted, all of this. Too logical, too smart for your own good.
Yeah.
But Kev,
labels on you.
but Kev, now we talk about this book. We talk about this book being the book of morale. For real? Are we serious?
Jesus
now I just asked the question. I just asked the question the other day. How old was Mary when God got her pregnant?
12 or 13.
Exactly.
And actually, if you're gonna get technical, I'm gonna say, if you use numerology, she was probably 13 because Jesus is the 13th.
Yeah.
Okay, of the 12, he is the 13th.
Just like, how old is Adam and Eve? Like, Eve wasn't even having a menstrual cycle yet. Like, how exactly old are these? Like, God is just playing games with little naked kids
so I ask questions
in the garden. Come on.
So I ask questions like, you mean to tell me God gives us, we get Jesus through a Virgin Mary, but we get the Bible through King James?
Right, let me read this. It's good. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, Why People Why said, Wolverine is real. Marvel told me so. Yeah. Santa is real. The gifts under my tree told me so. I love that because that's exactly how they think. That's how a Christian thinks, or any believer thinks. How do you know that Jonah was swallowed by a whale? Well, it says it right here. That's how you know. Oh my! It's like, oh my! Thank God! Right? Wake up!
Oh my!
You cannot just keep going and saying because it says it here. How you know God ain't evil? Well, it says he's all love. It says he created evil. Dude, how can you create something out of yourself that ain't you? You see what it's unbelievable. Dude, you
don't even know what evil is to create.
Exactly. How would you even know what it is? It's unreal, man.
That's crazy.
Absolutely. And so look, so to say that non-believers or free thinkers have no morale, watch this. Let's just deal with that. In this demographic, right, you're dealing with a large percentage of Christians, but you're dealing with an even larger percentage of believers total. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Look at the prisons. The murders, the rapes, the robberies are done by Christians or Muslims in this demographic. Mm-hmm. Find the atheists who's shooting up all these places, okay? Bombing all these places. Find them for me, please. I'll wait, right? Because we know it's not going to happen. Now, let's deal with it on another level. We're in a time now where people waking up left and right, walking away from this information. Why is there not a boost in the crime rate? Wouldn't there be? What if atheists, if non-believers and free thinkers alike had no morale, wouldn't they be like, well, Jesus don't exist, pow, right? Start robbing banks, flipping drugs, throwing up gang signs, woo, 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 all this stuff, right? Wouldn't that happen? But it doesn't. It seems that the people who walk away from this stuff become better, more responsible, take control of their life. That's what it looks like to me.
Literally.
So please show me, where's our lack of morale, though? You see what I'm saying? We treat people like we want to be treated because we don't know what's after this, right?
That's right.
We're not saying, man, you would just forgive me because you have to, right? And when you live your life thinking that I can commit any kind of sin, do anybody any kind of way, and all I got to do is apologize to God and I'm good, you have low morale. Yeah. Because you only doing it because you think God wants you to. Yeah. Let me go apologize because I don't want to go to hell. Let me forgive him because if I don't, I'll burn in hell. Right. You're being controlled. Thank you very much, Queen.
That's wild.
You know, and again, you're dealing with people who are literally blinded and drunk off religion. They are indoctrinated. It means to be taught something without given the opportunity to read it for yourself. Indoctrinate means to teach something without them actually being able to research it themselves. And that's what happened to us. That's the very
look how
definition.
crazy this religion is. Do you remember, everybody know who Jeffrey Dahmer is. You remember when Jeffrey Dahmer was on trial and that man got up and was like, I forgive you.
Mm-hmm.
I forgive you because God told me.
Right.
Like, dude, what? So you and Jeffrey Dahmer going to be in heaven together after he slayed and slaughtered your son and daughter?
Absolutely.
Right.
I don't know if this is a show. I don't know if this is a show. If it doesn't, then I'll read it to you. Indoctrinate. It says to teach a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. That's what indoctrinated means. So, were you taught to accept a belief uncritically?
Mm-hmm.
Uncritically means to not criticize, to not think about it, to not analyze. That's what uncritically means. Were you taught not to question God? Right? Were you not? You were indoctrinated. And it's so crazy that you can show this to them and they'll be like, I wasn't indoctrinated. Like you sitting here telling a lie to protect yourself. Like you know good and well you was indoctrinated. Come on, man.
I know Jesus real. I know he real because look at all this stuff I got.
Absolutely. What? How's that a testament to who real? Because I'm going to tell you what. There's people who don't have any stuff.
None.
Right? I said it wrong on purpose.
And they believe in Jesus wholeheartedly still.
Right.
It's bums out here.
Exactly.
Telling you have a blessed day. God bless you because you give them a penny.
Mm-hmm.
It's bums out here literally still believing in God and Jesus, dude. Like, oh my God, you homeless, nigga. Wake up.
Man, listen,
for real.
I see it myself because I feed them.
And
I'm talking about I'm handing them food
like,
and I watch them pray and thank Jesus.
Thank
while
Jesus.
I hand them
While
food.
you hand them
for
something.
yourself, man. What you go through. You know what I'm saying? What you go through because you don't believe anymore. You feel what I'm saying? And you choose to think for yourself.
And then, bro, like
I tell people, it's just the same way I went and researched. You can go research yourself too.
Yeah.
Or you can stay stuck
all
in a
research
belief.
is look again. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Look again. That's all you got to do. Go look again.
I mean, we get criticized. We
Thank you,
really get criticized for taking the time to go research something. You criticize us, but you won't even go research what we're telling you.
That's the thing. Right. You didn't allow me to criticize what you taught me. I ain't even got a full sentence out. And you ready to criticize what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And it's what's sad is you ain't even criticizing what I'm saying. You criticizing me for saying it. Right? So
point blank.
I say that there's none of these characters from the Bible that's ever been discovered in the realm of reality. You're being deceiving, right? The devil speaking through. Man, look up what I said. Now, you have people who say, well, you know what? They found somebody who was called King David. That means that, let me tell you something. David is the last name of a king. Does not mean it's the King David who was a sheep herder, who hit Goliath in the head with a rock, who raped Bathsheba. This is not the same King David, okay? When you're dealing with this literature, and they're writing about these people, they did use names of people who did exist, right? If I wrote a movie or wrote a book right now and put a Barack Obama's name in it, it don't make my story true because I put Obama's name in it.
Yeah,
you understand? Right. So when I tell you, you will not find David in the ground anywhere. There is no David who killed Goliath. There is no Goliath. There was no Saul who was a king before him. All of this stuff is an allegory. You see what I'm saying? And so it's amazing how they say, well, this is King David. Okay, then why can't you find King Saul within that then? Because King David took over after King Saul, right? He got his wives, he got his land, he got everything from this man. Everything that was King Saul's, you gave to David. So how can we see no trace of King Saul? Nowhere. Period. It's an allegory. It's an allegory. And that's the whole thing about it, man. It's very difficult trying to get this information across. So I guess it's kind of like the same way you learn religion bit by bit. It's almost the same. I see you guys donating to PayPal too. I really thank you guys. And last time people were donating to PayPal, I was saying your names and you didn't like that. So I assume you guys are using PayPal because you don't like your name being revealed. So I want to say thank you guys though. So let's let my man Pay Homage talk a little bit about more of his conversation, some of the things that he was sharing yesterday on his video for those that didn't get to hear it. Okay.
To elaborate, what the conversation originally stemmed from was me just simply asking what we get out of church. I look at church like this. we go to church and it's almost like a family setting, even through all the bad things in church. For the most part, it's like a family. We fish fry together. We play on basketball teams together. Pretty much we all like brothers and sisters here. Now we donate our money to this church every week, 3-4 times a week sometimes. Now, all these members in the church, they may have one child, two child that may be going to college. I feel like churches generate so much money. There's no excuse for them to not be farming food. No one in church should have to buy grocery. We should be, if we got a building fund, let's build a farm, let's get food, and everybody here can eat for free. There should be no homeless people, no woman living in her car in our church with a testimony, I lived in my car all week. There shouldn't be none of that in the church. My child made a 4.0 GPA, but he can't go to Virginia Tech because I ain't got enough money to send him. Pastor should be on that in a heartbeat. But that's not what's going on. Where is these charitable donations going? What are they doing? Because all I see is Tyler Perry's Creflo dollars. This all I see, and this all I wanted to know from my mother. Like, okay, if you hold on to this religion so much, and so they got a very bloody, gory history, I could bring that up, but I didn't want to do that. I just want to know, what have they done good? Mm-hmm. If you can't say that makes you mad, right, and you come back with violence and smite, and you going to hell, and then there's nothing good about your religion. You had nothing good to. What did we get out of the church? Because all I got was my ass whooped a bunch of times for not following the rules, and that's it. That's all I got was slavery out of it. That's literally all I got out of church. That's it. A couple of little fishing trips. That ain't nothing. My friends down the street don't even know me, and they'll take me fishing. Like, they think psychologically, like, we're going to make you feel welcome sometimes. And to you like, oh, I must be doing something good in the eyes of God, because now my church is accepting me more. Mm-hmm. Everybody shaking my hand. I'm getting to go on fishing trips and stuff. My parents used to literally tell me, like, the church having a trip, you can't go because you've been being bad. Well, you know what I mean? You need to get yourself right before you go around them. Like, dude. Like, nigga, if y'all ever seen Django, like, when I tell you I literally done been through so many, like, amazing beatings, son, like, stuff you wouldn't believe. Like, literally the scene from Django where the slave master walking back and forth with the Bible and cracking the whip and just being funny. Dude, that happened in my bedroom. My dad used to do that all the time. Bring that Bible, walk back and forth with his switches, and read out of that scripture and tell me what I done wrong. And I was a kid, bro. I did stuff like I stole all the zoo books from school because I wanted to read about animals. My mom went and got me a subscription to zoo books. My dad, he punished me. At all. Like, I remember my dad used to jack me up, but dude, I got my tooth knocked out for falling asleep in church one time. Straight, my tooth knocked out, lift me up off the ground and wow, knocked my tooth straight out my mouth, and it kind of caught him off guard, like, oh snap, I hit the little nigga that hard, but he still stood his ground. Like, next time when you go to church, you gonna be listening, you gonna keep your eyes open. I'm like, man, I gotta go to school at 7:00 in the morning, and of course, it affects my school. I'm failing the first class every Monday morning. That was literally the only class I was failing in the 9th grade, and they couldn't see. I was literally telling them it's because we in church all nights. And I'd be so sleepy when I go in there. Dude, it got to a point, I remember 7th, 8th grade, they was hitting on me because I was too big to get whooped with a belt. Now I'm grabbing that thing and being like, nah, none of that. Mm-hmm. So literally, my dad was coming at me, 14 years old, with the boxing skills. Bing, 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 bing. I'm about to throw you out the window, boy. I'm going to push you out the door. No, you can't come in here. Sleep outside with the wolves tonight. Like, literally, over religion.
Now, I want to say this right here, too. You mind me sharing the video page? Mm-mm. Okay, so I know that, again, when hurt people, like they say, right? So he was raised with an abusive father who hurt him when he was mad, right? So, of course, this is going to result in him being aggressive himself, right? So now he's out in the streets living his life where he's attacking people, hurting people, carrying weapons, doing all of this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Now, he tells me about a time where he hurt someone. You mind me saying how?
With the rock? Yeah, go ahead.
He shot someone, right? And so, like, Of course, his mama protected him on that. Like, make sure you stay in the house for a while. People are going to be looking for you, all this kind of stuff, right? But when it came time to him saying, I don't believe in Jesus anymore, it was a totally different story, which is like really mind-blowing, you know? And we see this all the time.
Wow.
You will have people who, as long as you believe in Jesus, you can live whatever life you want.
Whatever
you can be
life.
selling drugs, doing whatever. And I don't know if you guys ever saw this, but some of y'all probably some of the heathens that they prayed for on Saturday morning prayer service, because
Some of the heathens.
what they'll do is they'll go to church with like these little sticky notes, right? And they'll write your name down, right?
Put
and
you
they'll
on my
put it
prayer
on,
list.
yeah, they put you on the prayer list, right? Because if God can't hear, he can read, right?
For sure he can read.
Right,
He
it's
can't
true.
hear you.
Like, so let me write my son's name down, because when I'm praying that you save him, you ain't listening. So God, you see this, right? Right? And so they lay your name on the altar, right? Everybody just come and start putting your name on the altar, right? And I see this. I'm looking up in the front of the altar. Don't put your name on top of somebody else's, because they want their name to be exposed so God can see it looking down,
Yeah.
right? And that's just the thing. They'll pray for you because they'll say, I just pray come back to God, right? Let him find his way. The prodigal son, he still believed. And so they still have hope. Let you not believe anymore. You can be upstanding, right? Be running your own business, right?
Right.
Taking care of your children, doing everything right. You're not in the streets, nothing. All of a sudden, you're the worst type of being, period. Watch this, man. As a single person, if you believe in God, you ain't got to be so-called saved. Get introduced to a family. They'll accept you. Tell them you don't believe in God or Jesus, and watch what happens.
Watch what happens.
They don't care if you successful, or they don't care nothing about nothing, bro, because that is detrimental to them. And here's the thing. I'm not blaming them for that. I get it, because they do believe in this literature. When I believed in it, it was important to me too. But here's the point. When you've lived your entire life, you've been going down this road for this long time, right? And somebody comes and finally tells you, okay, you on the wrong road. Okay, why are you gonna argue? All I said is you on the wrong. This road is leading you nowhere, and you mad. You mad at me? You the one kept driving on this road.
Yeah.
All them signs say U-turn. All them exits that's glaring right there. You didn't take any of them. And now I'm coming to tell you, listen, you're gonna get all the way down this road, and you're gonna realize there's nothing there, and it's hurting you. It's not so much of, because there's no hell for you to go to. You understand what I'm saying? Period. So you can believe in Jesus all you want to. You ain't going to you ain't going to Jesus' heaven or Satan's hell. It's not gonna happen.
Have you
right?
ever seen
Right.
Burning Hell?
The burning hell.
The movie?
I haven't saw it.
Oh man, you're lucky.
Now I read Mary Kay Baxter's Divine Revelation of Hell.
Bro, we used to have if anybody in here know what the Burning Hell is, the movie, dude. Literally, we talking about 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. They used to get a blanket and put it right up front so all the children could sit right in front of the TV directly. In the Burning Hell, everybody who ever seen the Burning Hell, it's about a man who drink, party, smoke, and he got a buddy with him who drink, he party, and smoke with. His buddy falls off the motorcycle and dies and goes to hell. And in him falling off the motorcycle, he sees all this and goes to church and get his life right. But it literally shows hell in the movie, and it shows Satan stabbing the man with a pitchfork and grinding it into his chest. And we sitting there like, and immediately after they cut it off, they preach a whole sermon about that's where y'all gonna go if you don't listen to me. Pretty much, that's what they say. But literally, you 7, 8 years old, and they done set you directly in front of this TV screen and told you watch this. And dude, they didn't show it one time. We watch this 2 to 3 times a month. We done this 2 to 3 times a month in church. The Burning Hell showing tonight. The Burning Hell showing tonight. Get the blankets out so all the kids can sit Indian style directly in front of it and make sure they see the projection.
And like you said, scare tactics.
Scare tactics.
And again, we're coming from the standpoint to where we're not telling you about to go to hell, so there's no reason for you to get mad. We're telling you a hell doesn't exist. That's all we're saying. There's no hell. There is no Bible's heaven, right? So we're simply like, you can keep believing in it if you want. It's up to you. But what we're saying is the belief is hurting you, right? In your life, you're taking your money and giving it to these places who are not you. I'm going to tell you something, man. If the churches were really appropriating the money correctly, if they were really giving it to the widows and the fatherless, okay, if they were really building and structuralizing their communities, I wouldn't even be tripping on the church. Not the church. We're talking about the religion. But the church clearly is using people's beliefs to rape them monetarily. Right? We know this for a fact because look at these churches. And see, that's why, like,
church, the nicest building in the whole hood.
Absolutely. Like somebody, I did a post and I asked people, okay, what would you guys be willing to contribute to your hard-earned money? What would you be willing to contribute your hard-earned money to see something better in the world? Right? Most of them said a center of some sort to help out the community, the youth, and all of this. See, the thing about it, we got so many centers that's supposed to be doing this. They're called churches. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I'm actually really, I always said I never wanted to do this. You feel me? I always said I ain't trying to go take my nonprofit and go get no church and do nothing with it. But I'm actually considering it now. And I'm thinking about doing it for real. And so we can plant gardens, teach the children, right? And really fellowship and teach this information and change and show these churches what really helping your community is about. How much louder would your voice be if you have a building in the same communities as these churches, and you're the one supplying all the needs?
Yeah.
How much louder is your voice now?
Yeah. They will want you up out of there.
and ain't nothing they can do. Ain't nothing they can do because I'm an official nonprofit just like they are. Right? What can they do? Everybody in the community would eventually say, okay, wait a second. This church been here for 15 years. Kevin Spot been here for 15 years. He ain't even put an extra section on the building yet. Obviously, he putting the money going back into the people. Look how big that garden is out there. He giving free food to the homeless. He growing corn. He growing all these things and he giving food away. Right? It's not a flip. It's not a flip. Churches do fundraisers. They take the money you give them, invest it in the hot dogs, and sell the hot dogs and call it a fundraiser. That's a money flip. That's like saying, I'm going to buy some weed, break it up, sell it, and call it a fundraiser. Like, you didn't give nothing to the community, bro. In fact, when my pastor had died, my church began to collapse quickly monetarily because people stopped tithing as much, right? So when the leader goes, the whole body goes, right? You can tell how unstable everybody else is. So we're sitting here trying to figure out how in the world we're going to keep this church. So they want to do a hot dog sale. I said, how about do a hot dog giveaway? To them, that wasn't rational. I said, now, wait a second. We preach this stuff. We preach if you give, it'll be given back, shaken together and running over. But you want to sell hot dogs. I don't understand it, bro, because I'm like, why don't we just give them? What would it cost us? You're talking about between 8 men, we could have all put $20 in the pot and fed a ton of people hot dogs, right? We could have fed a ton of people hot dogs, right? All the condiments, they'd have had a good time, and it would have been totally free. Now, what's the benefits of this? People, they always say, people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? You out here feeding these people for free. You don't think they're going to come to your church now? Of course they would. Of course they would. Now, check this out. They never met the old pastor, so they didn't lose their hope when he died, right? So maybe they will contribute to the building staying alive as they are getting something from you, right? You're feeding these people with no cost. That's got to account for something. Nah, we don't want to do that. I don't understand why you don't want to do that when you teach us to do that.
That's right.
You teach us to come and give you our money, but you can't do it. That's how you know what they teach and they don't believe. And as a preacher, this ticked me off because I thought we believed in this stuff. Like, that's what blew my mind. I thought we believed in planting a seed and growing a harvest. I thought we believed in this. Well, you know, it's different. It's not different. It's not different, man. You cannot tell the congregation that they have to give in order to receive, but you don't give. You just receive.
Where is the storehouse?
You see what I'm saying? Even when you look good like you really giving, you still receiving.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? It's like you look good because the whole church out here, y'all having a cookout. Y'all, you might give a couple hot dogs to some homeless people walking by, but you selling them hot dogs to everybody else, right? You rent the basketball court out. You got all this stuff going on, but you making bread. Like you are making money. And what you now, I'm okay with you doing it if you're going to use the funds to do something with it, but you're not. You're going to take them back to the church and say, okay, we had a good outing. Let's do it again next Juneteenth. Let's sell hot dogs again.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm talking about rent blow up things like for kids to jump on, spend money. But so how much that blow up thing cost? I guarantee you it cost you more than $80. But we couldn't take $80 together and go ahead and or $120 together or whatever to buy these hot dogs. But you can rent a blow up thing.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like the mindset of people who say they believe in one thing but live another. And that's what really blew my mind, even being in the church. This is what made me research so hard, because I'm sitting here like, Jesus, come on. You said you know their heart, right? You know the beginning from the end from the beginning. You know these dudes don't have your heart. So I'm sitting here thinking, why are they capable of still being deacons and stuff like that? So wait, are you real? I'm like, are you real? So I'm researching, of course. I'm seeing online people saying Jesus ain't never existed. So I'm about to, of course, I'm about to show them.
Okay.
Right? I'm about to prove all them wrong. Jesus existed,
Jesus
bro.
real.
I'm about to show you all. And then I got left looking stupid. You see what I got left looking stupid. All I could do was cry like a baby because I got my face broke. Right? I sit here and accepted something, and I thought something was there and it wasn't. And I was mad because I've been I'm talking about Tacoma. When I tell you, I knew Jesus didn't exist, and I was still praying to him because I was like, why won't you just be real? Just
show up.
I needed you. I thought you was there for me. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about I would walk home from school lonely, talking to God, thinking this dude was with me. So believe me, it hurt me too. So people look at me, they be like, man, I can't even ever tell. Of course. I got over it. Right? But at the same time, it's like, dude, when I tell you, for me to tell you this and know how bad it's going to hurt you, I got to love you. Man, people say, man, if you love me, you'll leave me the way you are. I love you too much to leave you the way you are. Because the way you are is killing you and everybody around you. Right? And it's like, for me to keep my mouth quiet and not tell the world that they worshiping something false, the question comes to mind, would you kill the world to save yourself? And I would not. Because what is the world if it's just me in it? It's dead. I can't procreate. I can't do nothing. So I'd rather me be gone and the world still exists. So why would I bite my tongue? You see what I'm saying? I'll accept what comes next. But I spent my whole entire life praying to somebody who wasn't there. And I don't want to see nobody else do it too. Or do it either. You feel me?
That's the hurting part.
People,
right there, man.
Exactly. It really is. It crushes
part,
you.
Yeah. Because once you step out of it, man, once you step out and you're looking in now, oh my gosh, it's like, wow, you really see. Man, I'm telling you.
You get angry at first.
When I stepped away.
3 years ago, somebody.
And I'm able to really look in now. It's like they're like zombies. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. You feel so free. You feel so free. And I swear, I remember, I don't know if it was my mother or father. I told him, I said, man, I've never felt so free.
Yeah, bro.
Since I walked away from this. The way I think now, the way I do things now, it's just totally different, man. And
you free, but every time you look over, and you free, but every time you look over your shoulders, you see them slave catchers trying to put you back.
Yeah.
You see them trying to put you back in chains, don't you?
And they be trying to do the training start so early.
Man, because it's so obvious. Once you stop and you really start to question things, and you really start to, the information is here, man. The information is here. It's been here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But now it's easier to obtain. It's easier. I'm talking about, I said stuff, I put stuff right in people's lap. You don't even have to go look for it. I'm going to put it here for you. You think they look at it?
Absolutely.
You think they look at it? You ain't even got to go look for it. I'm going to put it here for you. I'm going to research it for you and I'm going to put it here.
Yeah.
Right.
You ain't going to look at it. And it's like, wow.
That's how I be, because I know they ain't going to look it up.
Believing what was given to us, what was told to us. Let me tell you something. Another thing that woke me up. I researched the authors.
Yeah, me too, bro. That's exactly what started waking me up.
The people who got the copyrights and stuff.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
The hymn book, bro.
Right, and that's one of the questions I used to ask. Why is the Bible copyrighted? Like, just think about
How
that.
somebody copyrighted God's
God
word.
would allow someone to copyright his information, his intellectual property. Someone else owns the copyright.
Somebody get rich on it. And see, Cam,
That's the thing about it. Yeah. I used to be like, stop it.
That's what I'm saying. Who authorized it?
Right.
Who authorized this book to be copyrighted? Because what I'm saying is, what we went through for 400 years and as loyal as we are to Jesus,
For real,
we
boy.
should have a version of this Bible.
Absolutely.
Everybody else got a version.
Absolutely.
Why we don't have a version? Why we can't copyright something? Because somebody
Hey, and the first Bibles they gave to black people in the front, it said, given to you by your master, and your master signed his name.
Right, absolutely.
So you authorized to have a Bible. Because, nigga, why you got a Bible? What you
Right,
doing?
absolutely.
Like, who signed that for you? Let me see if your master signed that for you. Make sure you authorized to have that book.
All right, so I guess a quick commercial. I done saw this come up a bunch of times. People say they love this shirt. It is on betheevolution.org. You can go get this shirt, guys. I love life. Okay, so just go to betheevolution.org. You can order that shirt and have it shipped to you. And please take a picture and tag me in it because you know I want to post you all over my wall and thank you for your support. Okay.
Hey, Cam.
Yes, sir.
Real quick. Hey, pay homage.
What's good, bro?
I had to go look for that movie. It's on YouTube. I'm going to put in the comments.
The Burning Hell, yeah, bro.
Okay, bet.
People got to see that, dude. Just imagine yourself being 6 years old watching that. And your parents tell you literally everything you do, you might go to hell.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out. I never seen that movie. I never even heard of it.
Dude, that thing is a trip. I used to be terrified. Like they literally had me scared to death. Like for a good, I remember the first time when I really thought maybe Jesus might be some BS. When I started getting money, like my parents were giving me allowance and I did all the dishes and all the work for this money. But then they'd be like, make sure you save some of your allowance to put in the offering. And I would go and act like I was putting it in there and keep it. And first time I got caught doing that, I got a whooping. So I was like, okay, y'all gonna beat me. I'm robbing God, but y'all beat me for it. And then you're gonna tell me that God gonna stir me up after you just beat me. You just judged me and punished me, and we moving on from this. I still gotta somehow prove to God that I'm sorry for robbing him. For money that I made.
Absolutely.
That I needed probably for whatever I wanted. It's my money. Why do I got to give it? Y'all grown-ups. Y'all pay the tithes.
Absolutely.
Dude, and on our tithe sheet, you used to have to write your name, how much you was paying, and they kept a log of your tithes.
They all do. And here's what's crazy. When I say that 99% of believers don't read their literature, now, dealing with Christianity, because we know Islamics and we know that Hebrew Israelites most certainly read their literature, right?
Yeah, they do.
But when you're dealing with Christians, we're dealing with people who do not read their literature. If they did, they wouldn't be tithing because the Bible doesn't say to tithe, right? We know that tithe means tenth and not 10%. It means 10th animal, right?
Yeah.
Or 10th crop. So when it says give the 10th of the cattle, it meant the 10th one. So if all you had was 9, you didn't give one. What they teach you is that every time you get paid, come bring me 10%. But where is that logical? Where is that justified in the Bible? Well, Abraham, he tithed to Melchizedek. Well, first of all, his name was the Melchizedek, which means high priest. And Abraham slaughtered people during war, took their treasures and tithed off of that. Abraham was wealthy and never tithed before that or after that, right? Now, when you're dealing with this type of stuff and people say, well, I tithe because I just believe. No, you tithe because they told you to. Like you bring your money every week with this fear of being cursed if you don't give it because they taught you that. Ask a Hebrew Israelite, is tithe real? They'll tell you no way, and these churches lying to these people, right? That's what they're gonna tell you, and they're right. Ask a Jew, is tithe real? Now the way they say Jews love money, you think they be teaching tithe?
You think for sure,
but they don't.
Right.
They get their money by having
Exactly.
these lucrative businesses, right? Investing. Why don't they teach tithe if it's in the Bible? Because we know it's not. And they read the Torah or the Old Testament, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's tithe spoke about? In the Old Testament, right?
And surely Jesus would have took a tithe, right?
Right, surely.
Surely the greatest man of the religion would have got the best tithe and offering.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been the richest dude moving.
Absolutely. And never did he take a tithe. His life, he spent giving.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen Jesus with his hand out like, give me my money.
Give me my money.
Now watch this. Jesus also didn't pay his taxes either.
Neither.
Like, he didn't pay his taxes now.
Jesus was
he was on some, you probably know he was Wesley Snipes black.
Jesus wasn't following no rules.
Kevin ain't got no sense. I'm going to tell you though, this is a testament to Jesus being from the age of Pisces. They start asking Jesus where that paper is, where that tax money is. That's what Jesus tell him, Callie. Go fishing now.
Yeah.
I want you to go fishing, and when you catch a fish, the first fish you find, open his mouth and you're going to find gold in his mouth. Then go pay my taxes. I said, Jesus is cold-blooded. He sent another man fishing to go pay his taxes for him. Instead it's our taxes. Pay our taxes. I said, man, I like Jesus. He cool. He a cool dude.
I used to say I used to be like, Jesus gangster.
He is, man. Like, say what? What you say? What you say, Callie?
Shout out to the Pisces.
Shout out to the Pisces, man. Like, that man, he pays all taxes, man.
Hey, Jesus was hilarious. Come back and they was like, Jesus, why you didn't speak to your mom and your daddy? They made my people.
I don't know them.
I don't know them. These my brothers, the people that vibrate on my frequency.
Right, exactly.
I don't know nothing about them.
Exactly.
Like, and they don't even follow. Like, I'm a Christian. I'm a good Christian. Don't you say this about Jesus. Don't you say that about Jesus. And then I'll be like you'll ask them something serious and they don't got a clue. I'm going to have to look that scripture up. But you've been a Christian your whole life and you just now have to look that scripture up. You should know it verbatim, dude. I done read the Bible back the front about 5 times probably. Literally. Like, because I wanted to know.
I wanted to know,
like, how I gotta. They doing a lot in the name of Jesus.
I even went and studied Hebrew because I believed that Hebrew was the first language. Yeah, I actually believe Hebrew was the first language, not cuneiform, right? Not Phoenician, nothing. I thought Hebrew was the oldest language and it was God's language. So I wanted to learn God's holy language. Here's how I got that idea. I tell myself, let's just say I'm married to a woman who speaks a foreign language. She does not speak my language. Mm-hmm. So I hire an interpreter to come in and live with us, right? So just imagine my beloved spouse is trying to tell me something important to her, near and dear to her heart. And this interpreter is not telling me in her exact words. I don't want that, right? If I love her, I should want to learn what she's saying. So I don't need someone else to tell me what my wife is saying to me. So why would I want someone to translate what my God is saying? I got tired of the games. Yeah. This Bible don't make sense, man. So maybe if I go back and learn Hebrew, right, it'll make sense. Then when you go back and learn Hebrew, you realize everybody's names is built off of what they're connected to, which is just crazy. Adamah means earth, means dirt in Hebrew, right? Mm-hmm. Adam, it comes from the same thing, right? The word father comes from a word that's that first letters of the Hebrew alphabet, Aleph and Bet. Abba is what this word. You ever hear they say Abba Father, right? Mm-hmm. Abba. So this is where they get this word. In fact, Jesus is called Abbas too. You see what I'm saying? Barabbas, Bar-Abbas, right? The son of the Father, right? Barabbas. That's actually Jesus. When you hear Bar-Abbas spoke of in the Bible, that is actually Jesus because it comes from Abba, right? And all Abba is 2 letters put together in Hebrew because it's kind of like characters, like when you're looking at like Chinese, right? Chinese lettering or whatever. It's not like letters or whatever, but you're looking at characters. They mean something. Yeah. Aleph means authority. Bet means house. So when you talk about the God who holds up the house, that's what Abba means. So when you start looking through Hebrew, you start realizing that it don't make any more sense, but it actually shows you like where this stuff kind of came from. Mm-hmm. So this is where I started picking up on what I call the holy days, what America, of course, calls holidays, but we know Holy spells holy, right? But we'll read that word and say holiday because we've been taught to read and ignore what it actually says. Like if you read the word K-N-O-W, you're going to say it says no. But really it says kano, and you were just taught to ignore what you see and just say what I told you to say. And this is the same concept we take when reading the Bible. This is why I say you're under a spell. Mm-hmm. You reading the Bible and you're taught to read it like you was taught You read it like you were taught to read it. The same way you read words. S-U-R-E is sewer, but we'll say it says sure.
Yeah.
Right? Merlot. M-E-R-L-O-T, but it's pronounced Merlot, right? And when you knife, it's pronounced with a K, right? Or it's written with a K, pronounced with an N, right? We know these words are off.
Yep.
And so we'll look at these words, and if someone else pronounces it wrong, we'll laugh at them and call them an idiot.
Yeah.
The word read means to guess. This is why when you look up words in the dictionary, under it, it tells you how to pronounce the word. Because reading ain't easy, right? Because you don't know what you're reading. Like, you have to see how they tell you to say it, right? So when you read the Bible, it's the same exact way. It's telling you it's true, so you're going to see it as true. When we're telling you, wake up from this spell, K-N-O-W is Kano. Wake up from the spell. Jesus never existed, right? In the same breath. You see what I'm saying? Because you're under a spell means you're under the words that someone spelled out, right? Under a curse means you're under the words that someone cursed out. Cursive, right? So you believe what you're reading, which means you're under the power of the person who wrote it. Ray Hagen's got one of the best quotes in the world. He who owns the printed page controls the thinking of the age. Let me say it again. He who controls the printed page controls the thinking of the age. That's bars. Like, you understand? Because that is so true. We grow up as bars, man. It don't even rhyme in that's bars. Man, what a joke kids laugh at. Like, you need to dime the marker on that. Because it's just facts, you know what I mean? That's what you mean. Because it's 100% facts, man. You reading this stuff, they do control you, right? Like the lady said, the queen said, okay, I believe in Santa Claus because my gifts told me so. Man, my grandma would write from Santa Claus on my gifts. Now, my grandma didn't make no money. By the time I was born, my grandma was already too sick to work. All my other grandparents was already dead before I was even born. So she got, like, Social Security checks, right? So she was struggling. She'd get us a couple of little gifts, and she'll write from Santa on them. I ain't never got a gift from her with her name on it. You see what I'm saying? She gave all the credit to Santa on that day.
Wow.
And as a child, dude, I really believed in Santa.
Seeing
what
like,
am I supposed to believe?
I never got the luxury of Santa Claus
My
ever.
mama didn't play that.
My parents didn't play that either. Dude, I remember getting in trouble in school. I remember going to school and we had to draw our Christmas tree. So I told the teacher straight up, my parents don't play that. We ain't got no Christmas tree. So what? I don't got to do this, right? Like, that's how I thought in my mind. Like, I don't got to do this, right? I'm good. And the teacher just was like, finally, she got tired of going back and forth with me and was literally like, just draw a Christmas tree. And I was like, no. Like, no. Other kids picked on me, thought I was stupid. I think I might have even hit one because I felt subconscious in my mind, like the same way at my house. When I would ask my mom a question and she'd be like, because I said so, nigga, that's why. I went to school that way. And they was like, oh, laugh, hee hee ha. Your parents don't let you have a Christmas tree. What's Christmas like? I was like, nigga, Santa Claus ain't real, nigga. Say something else about Santa Claus and I'm a dog. Like, I was literally in the mind that I had at home. Like, my dad wouldn't dare. My mama would play around. Like, next year we're going to get a Christmas tree. My dad be like, you going to be putting it on the porch. You going to be opening presents outside. Like, nigga, dreams was crushed in my crib. None of that. No Santa Claus.
Wow.
Dude,
my dad wouldn't even come to my aunt's house to Christmas because they celebrated like pagans because they had a 40-foot, 30-foot Christmas tree or whatever. I ain't going over there. They got a Christmas tree. Y'all celebrating like pagans. Nigga, you ain't want to come with us anyway. You ain't want to come anyway. But you're going to use the religion to say, oh, because y'all got a Christmas tree, I'm not going over there and celebrating Christmas with my family. I'm going to sit here and read the Bible. Like, and he would literally like be trying to make us feel guilty, like reading the Bible while we loading gifts into the car. Not even helping my mom, his wife, with the heavy boxes she carrying. Nope, I'm going to sit here and look at the Bible and let them know that they pagans. I ain't talking to nobody on Christmas.
Absolutely.
I used to be, and this is the man who stands in the pulpit and preaches the word of God, and y'all go crazy for him. Pastor Gilmore. Like, what? Dude, church members used to feel proud of us getting new shit. Like, oh my God, I like your new car. Look at the pastor starting in his new suit. Like, you paid for it. You happy about him spending your money on a new suit? Are you crazy?
It's unreal, man.
That's crazy.
It's unreal. And so that's why I was like, man, in light of all the information that's out there, right? And again, when you're dealing with where you were raised and the language you speak is from the enslavers that you were under, right? When you're dealing with, Mexico and Latin or Spanish languages, right? When you look up etymology, when you look up the words, any of these words from etymology, they trace back to Latin words. So when you're talking about a person who you only speak your language because of your slave masters, you got your belief from them too.
You got your belief.
You see what I'm saying? Like
too.
you got your language from them.
They had you teach you the language to give you the belief.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And language is powerful.
That's right.
People don't understand that. They try to deny that language is powerful. And they don't understand that when humans were creating words, they built these words off of certain things. And when you tell people this, they be like, man, you crazy. It don't work like that. Yes, it does, right? Because they did build these words just like that. Why do you think, okay, you call water a body and your body a vessel? Why do you think that? Again, I told somebody the other day, why do all your streams of income lead to a bank? Streams of income lead to a bank. What's a cash flow? Right? What's a crime wave? Why they say freeze when they police you? Right? Why is your money called currency? Currency. You cannot make this stuff up. Right?
That's real.
Okay, the Army, when they're on water, what are they doing? Navigating. They're called the Navy. What's your belly button called? A navel. Like your body's made up of mostly water, right? So it's one of those things where when you're creating these words and building these words, you see these words inside of it. We learn root words in school.
That's like knowledge right here.
And for people who don't have it, they'll just say that's not true. And again, that's ego. How can you tell me it's not true if you hadn't proven me wrong?
Yeah.
See, I'm not actually I've never been. Like I'll never comment on somebody's stuff and say you're wrong if it's something I never heard.
Yep.
Because it actually speaks more about you than it does me.
Yeah.
Because here's what I'll do.
Never even heard it. So
right. They never heard it. Right. What are you talking about? I've never heard that. Yeah. That must mean it's a lie. Really? You that idiotic that you think just because you heard everything that it's true. Right?
Wordplay.
Like it's just so crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Like what? People will write the truth off any way they can.
It's like you have to humble yourself, man. Like you can stand to be wrong. I can stand to be wrong. I don't mind it. You see what I'm saying? I'm never gonna be so wrong that it's going to make any of these guys from these religious books all of a sudden exist. You understand? When you're learning information and you're teaching it like we do on the go, we're learning it, and we're having conversations like this every week. If someone says something on my stuff or anything that's incorrect, any brother is welcome to come and correct me. If they show me, and of course I'm gonna go back behind them and see if it's right. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna come right out here and say I'm wrong. On my video, when I said this all happened in 325 AD, the Roman Ecumenical Councils wrote this whole book. Did I not come back and say that is completely wrong? I was very emotional and just saying everything, trying to get everything out at once on camera, trying to let people know, because the video wasn't about that, right? It was about telling people that I was leaving religion. And to this day, people still haunting me about that. Now, you can't prove Jesus exists, but you mad because I got one thing wrong in the video. Bruh, I'm going to get stuff wrong. You understand?
I'm human.
But you need to prove me wrong. And then you're going to find out you can't. You see what I'm saying? And if you do, I'm willing to admit I'm humble. I don't care. Like, it's not like I don't have a need to be right. I want to see people free from religion. We can all learn together. You see what I'm saying? Real. So it's to me, it's like when I see people commenting saying like you don't know. I don't know what that. Okay. When I see people comment and say you don't know what you're talking about or you're wrong, I say, well, tell me what's right. Well, no, I ain't about to do all that. Okay, then why even comment?
Why you even here?
Who comments you're wrong? Just tell me where I'm wrong. Like, that's not how really correcting somebody goes, right? Just imagine this, bro. I say, Tacoma, where you headed to, right? I'm going out east, man. Okay, cool. You leave out going out west, and I text you and say, wrong way. Okay, you know that. Or you might not even know that. How you know I'm even right? Because you're pretty sure about where you're going, right?
Right.
You done been there before. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to say, why you think I'm going the wrong way? Nah, trust me, man, that's just the wrong way. Dude, that's not how this works. And potentially you're going to keep on driving.
Yeah.
Because that person ain't going to say enough to make you turn your car around. He don't even know why you're going the wrong way. It just don't sound right to him or her. You feel me?
Real.
And then they'll be like, when you trying to tell people or trying to wake them up, they'll be like, you trying to force your stuff. You trying to force your stuff on me.
Yeah.
Now we have a problem with things being forced on us. You trying to force your beliefs on me. I have no beliefs to force on you. I'm simply telling you I don't want your beliefs.
Right.
Like, I don't even understand half of the arguments. Like, I literally have to, when I'm talking to people, I literally have to constantly say, how do that even sound? That don't even sound right. Like, that's all I be saying. Like, listen to what you just said. Say it back to yourself. Right. I'm not even going to debate you. Just say that back to yourself. And how does that sound? Right. And they be fully confident, like, I'll sound. But you can see in their face and their eyes that they feel like they're not smart.
See, I repeat it right back to them. That's my sarcasm, though.
Yeah.
Like, I know Jesus is real. Millions of people can't be wrong. And I'd be like, well, I know Allah's real because millions of people can't be wrong. I know Krishna real because millions of people can't. How does that make you feel? That sounds stupid. Then don't you think you sound stupid? You can't say your religion is real because a million people believe in it. And other people got millions of believers as well. Like the number of the total of the amount of people who believe in your religion is in no way, shape, or form any evidence to it being actually true, right? It just means people believed in it. Yeah. And when you're dealing with religion and how it was forced, no wonder people believe in it. Yeah. That is no testament to truth. It is a testament to how they were given it. Let me say this real quick. A lot of people are asking on Facebook to call in. Unfortunately, guys, I cannot do call-ins this week. But we are going to be on the same subject next week and allow you guys to call in and give your personal stories about walking away from religion. This week right here is showing these two guys, I guess I don't want to call it a testimony, but their experience from revealing their beliefs now, or their lack of beliefs rather, to their families, right? So as a matter of fact, we're going to get into this a little bit because we're about to close out or whatever. But some people was asking, okay, so what do you do? What I was going to say was this, guys. If you still live at home, okay, with your parents, and you know that you could potentially be, and there's a potential there. They don't want no devil in their house, right? Yeah. The scripture they may use will be, for me and my house, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And that could be an excuse to kick you out. So if you don't have anywhere to go, you ain't going to a hell, okay? Be smart. Just keep it to yourself. Continue to research. Get your mind together, get your argument together. So whenever you do reveal it, you can have something stable.
Get you some money and bounce.
Absolutely. Get your money.
Bounce. Just bounce. I went to the streets. I ain't even gonna lie. When my parents started really getting on me, I was like, you know what? Since everything is y'all rules and y'all way, I'm gonna just take off. How about that? And then they started caring for me a little more. Like, it's like they gained a little bit of respect for me. Like, he want to be a rebel, but it's like that's almost all my dad asks. Nigga, you want to be a rebel, go do it on your own dollar. But I felt like you brought me here. I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you no explanation or none of that. Same way you doing me when I'm asking you questions. Why I got to get beat for this, that, and the third? Why do God care about this, that, and the third? And you don't got no answer for me? I don't got, boy, why you smoking weed? Boy, why you doing this? I don't got no answer for you either. Like as a rebel, that's literally what I thought. I'm going to start treating these people the way they treat me. I'm going to start actually doing the things that this Bible say. And I'm going to see how they like it. And they ain't like it. I used to be like, literally, Jesus do this right in his book. Jesus told his mama to go about her business. Like, they didn't like when I really started like, okay, this is what the Bible say. I'm going to do this. They ain't like none of that. They don't really have no religion. Right. They don't follow it. They can't possibly. They don't care about the religion. They just want to be in a club of people who think like them and act like them. We can act like fools for 6 days a week. Come on the 7th, get forgiven, go right back to acting like a fool for 6 more days. Come on the 7th. Dude, the 7 deadly sins is stuff that they do on a daily basis. Absolutely. The literal 7 deadly sins that's worse than all the rest of them are things they do on a daily basis, dude.
Something we were talking about yesterday, myself and Pay Homage. You said you had an uncle that died from lung cancer?
Oh, yeah. My uncle died from lung cancer, from smoking. My uncle explained to me, though, before he died, like in his mind, he thought he was dying for his sins because he smoked cigarettes. Like these cigarettes was my sin. So I'm dying from cancer. He never was religious his whole life, but he started getting religious when he was about to die, coincidentally. Like, you know what I mean? But so he understood that these cigarettes was my sin. That's why I have lung cancer and I'm dying. And I had a few family members who, like, especially him, like he was thinking in his mind that if he didn't get right, he was going to hell. Literally like a month and you're about to die. Now you're afraid of hell. And that's one crazy psycho thing about it. But like when he did die, everyone, you know how people are. They think Christians, they think he went to hell because he drank, smoked, had a couple baby mamas and stuff like that. Like they would literally say, I would hear my family literally say, I love Bobby, but I know he went to hell. And like one night I had a dream, dude. Like I had a dream that this man came to my bed, sat on my bed, hung out with me, had a conversation with me. Like he used to cut my hair in real life when I was a little kid. So that's what the dream was pertaining to. He was giving me a shape up, asking me how my mom doing. I can remember the dream vividly. They told me that I was tripping because he had to go to hell. Like there was no possible way that happened to you because he gotta be in hell.
Now, and on that note, when he said that to me, I said, okay, they believe that he went to hell because he smoked cigarettes to give himself lung cancer. But watch this. We have relatives who die of strokes, heart diseases, diabetes from overeating. Knowing they're overeating, is that not the same as smoking cigarettes? So where are they? You see what I'm saying? So the idea to say, I'm going to blame you for smoking because that's evil. But the Bible also talks about being a glutton, right? Overeating. Right?
Overindulgent in anything.
Absolutely. And so you can eat all these foods to give yourself strokes, like I said, clogging your arteries up, giving yourself diabetes, high blood pressure, and all this stuff.
Make your kids do it too.
Right, absolutely. and giving this to your kids. Right? It ain't like his uncle was smoking like
yourself. Yeah,
son. No, you gonna hit this cigarette, right? No, you putting fried chicken, all this stuff that has all this saturated fats into your body, right? Now, would that not be the equivalent to lung cancer, right?
That's right.
You did it to yourself, right?
That's right.
You wouldn't have got the congested heart if you hadn't been putting those things in your body, right? But we're gonna ignore that, right? So we're gonna keep on. Hey, what we gonna eat today, y'all? We all gonna go to Golden Corral or whatever place we're gonna go to.
Right after church.
No problem. But we're gonna condemn Sister So and So for smoking. You see what I'm saying? It's unreal, man. So let's see. What I was saying was like, So I was talking. Okay. So yeah, if you are living at home, you wanna make sure you take your time. The key word here is patience, right? And strategy. There's no need to rush, right? If you're married, you really need to take some time to think about your relationship. If you have children, that's an even bigger thing, right? So if you go to your spouse and you're telling them, I don't believe in Jesus anymore, they may have the mindset to put you away from you, especially if you are a man in this demographic, right? In a courtroom, men just don't win, right? In any way like that. So we do know that, you can be kept from your kids, your children, all because you don't believe in something, right?
Yep.
They don't, and what more, like, you're
not teaching your kid about Jesus.
Right. You would have to understand why a mother or any parent would not want their child around you if they believe in Jesus and you don't, right? So if you think that's going to cause separation between you and your child, man, keep it to yourself, right? Yeah. Now, one of the things you can do is you can teach your child to critically think without challenging their religion. There are many ways to do it. You can start with Santa Claus. Consider how large the world is. Do you think one man could do this? Right? He does it if you're naughty or nice. How does he know? Is he all seeing? Is he all knowing? He was always forever here. He's eternal. Well, who created Santa? Right? You can ask them these same questions to make them ask the same stuff about God. Because Santa's all knowing, right? Isn't the tooth fairy all knowing? How's she know when you lose a tooth? Nobody tells her.
Yeah.
She just showed up and dropped money under your pillow, right? Where'd she get the money from? She work a day job?
Real.
Right.
Real.
And all us done fake like we still sleep, so our mama can slide that dollar under the pillow and take our too. All us done fake sleep and saw that. And your mama been like, did the tooth fairy give you $1 last night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mom.
Right. So I would say teach your children the best you can to critically think, because this is going to help them in life. That, like, you should be teaching your children
Stop
to critically
lying
think
to
anyway.
them.
Because the one thing that we know going to happen in life is people going to lie and people are going to be deceptive for whatever reason. You always want them to question and be critical, not to be judgmental, but critical.
Yeah.
Listen to what somebody's saying and work it out if it's true. You see what I'm saying? So make sure you're doing those things. If it's like and if you have a job, right? Some people work for, a church, or they work for Christian organizations, right? Some people work for like, psychiatrists who are Christian type psychiatrists. So they can't come out and speak this stuff, right? If that is the case, hold your silence, right? Because you don't want to lose your job, right? If that's important to you, until you find another, place to work, another place of income, then don't do anything to jeopardize yourself. You're talking to a person who got fired for running his mouth. So,
and another thing,
already know what that is.
Parents, it's a lot of black on black. I mean, I know we say black on black crime don't exist, which I agree, but it's rampant. Niggas kill niggas every day. And I just want to say to everybody with kids, man, if you really want to see crime go down and black people's violence go down, try to stop beating your kids. I mean, just try it. The next time you want to beat them, try something else. Just try something else.
Try dialogue. Like, that's what I do. You guys can ask Josh. He hears me on the phone all the time with my children. I never have to raise my voice. I simply talk to them. In fact, I don't whip my children, man, to be honest with y'all. I have great children. They all make, as if this is a testament to behavior.
Most people do.
They make straight A's.
Part.
They're very smart. They're intelligent. They're good, right? And I hate to even use those words when trying to define your children, because you're going to love them regardless. But what I'm saying is, in order to get my children to correct their behavior, they don't require being hit. They just don't. Do you?
Yeah.
As an adult, whenever you make mistakes, do you need somebody to slap you upside of your head for you to learn a lesson, or is what comes around from that enough to make you learn?
You're conditioning the children.
So it's like you beat your children into a world to where they won't get beat, right? So when you go out as an adult, you're not gonna let nobody put their hands on you anymore. Mm-hmm. So I mean, why would you put this into your child? You want them to, you don't want them to think about you in the way that you hurt them. You love them. Why would you want to inflict pain on them?
Why you want your
You
kids
don't need to do
that.
You.
Yeah.
Try different methods. Like he said, I know you were taught that and you think it's the right thing to do. And some of you might be like, man, my kid's bad. You don't understand. I'm telling you to try it. Your children are a reflection of your leadership.
Yeah, there ain't no such thing as a bad child.
Absolutely.
They misplaced. they might be a genius in sky. They might be a genius in some field that they just can't. You got him stuck in school, and he might be a genius composer, bad with a trumpet or something. Mm-hmm. He might be real good with a guitar, but he got to sit in math class and think about playing the guitar all day while listening to this teacher tell him a bunch of lies. And most kids, dude, I know some smart little kids. These kids out here watching Hidden Colors and going to school and telling their teachers, I watch Hidden Colors with my black friends. And that's not right, Miss Golly, Miss Molly. And like literally, like the world is brick by brick, all this stuff is coming down. So get prepared. Like that's all I can tell you. Brick by brick is coming down. You can be stuck if you want to. It's coming down. And I honestly think like half of these people can't possibly believe like literally if you over 28, 30 years old at this point, you know this literature a little bit funny. But you want to keep saying, I believe in this. I believe in this. I believe in this. I believe in this. Like, man, stop it.
Absolutely
You're right, though. You're right. I mean, at what point do we stop and just really put this book under a microscope? I watched, Kev, we was in your group the other day. Uh-huh. And we had the guy in the group. He questioned you about one line.
One line
in your spoken word thing from the Bible, right?
Yeah.
So my question to him was, okay, if we're going to put this one line under a microscope,
absolutely.
If we're going to put this, let's put this whole book under a microscope. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we're going to take one little line he put from that Bible in a spoken word video, and you're going to question that, but you're not going to question
but you
the
ain't
whole
going to
book.
question all this.
Let's start with the title. Let's go to the authors. Let's go to the copyrights. Let's go to the confusion in this Bible, the contradictions. Let's go through this Bible. You want to put this under a microscope? Let's go put this whole book under a microscope.
Right, absolutely. And if you guys are wondering, that was what I was talking about earlier when I said the Bible says if a man has crushed testicles or no testicles, then he cannot enter into the assembly of the Lord.
Yeah.
I said in my poem that if a man has no genitals, then he's doomed to hell. Okay, so he said, well, how can you say that's doomed to hell? It just says you can't go to fellowship. You can't get into the assembly of the Lord. So my point was this. You're telling me that God would say you can't come fellowship with me, but you can come to heaven, right? You're telling me that God would say, I'm going to make your penis with extra skin on it. But if you don't get the skin cut off, you can't have a relationship with me. But if you die believing me, I'll still take you into heaven. How can you go to heaven if you don't have a relationship with him? You are doomed to hell. It is a fact, right? And when I put it, he had no argument after that because it's simple facts. But here's my thing. When you look at it, the fact that he was able, which is okay, it's actually okay that he criticized me on that, right? That's perfectly fine. Every man, you should do that. But why don't you do that with your own Bible? That's the thing that bothers me, right? You can criticize me, right? Which is fine. Critique me all you want, pick it apart. We want to make sure what I'm putting out there is correct information. Mm-hmm. But you need to do the same thing with the literature that you believe in and our teaching is true.
That's right.
And this where you see the hypocrisy. For yourself, right. That's where you can clearly see the hypocrisy. You see what I'm saying? I won't challenge my book, but I'll challenge anything
you say. What
exactly.
You say. Mm-hmm. And I ain't gonna take their word for it.
And that's exactly what went on in that church that night.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Because we asked them, they're asking me for documentation.
Yeah, I remember that, bro. I was tripping off of that, bro.
Ken said, ask them for documentation. And everybody held up the Bible.
They held up the Bible, yeah. I was like, bro, come on. Is we in Rosewood? That's how my church was, though, bro. That's how they be. They crazy. Bro, have y'all ever got to count tithes? Dude, oh my God, talking about BMF, bro. Like the money, I used to be like, these people is giving up their money, bro. And they used to do this, like the play to go around, we'll be done counting it up. But we ain't even told him how much it is, but the preacher's so smart, he see that service going, and it's almost time to do the benediction. He gonna come up there right after everybody done caught the Holy Ghost. And he gonna be like, well, y'all know we got this building fund and we ain't meet our goal for this week. So we're going to send this plate around one more time. We want you to reach deep in your pocketbook. Deeper than you went the first time we sent the plate out.
and keep in mind, God loves a cheerful a giver who's full of cheer.
Make sure you're smiling when you walk past it. And bro, we used to stand up there like bodyguards around the plate. Like, you know how they send it around. The second time, we just sit it on the table and stand up there. Bring your money on up here. And I'd be like, you can see little kids looking like, dang, man. Like, God. And their grandma smack them in the back of the head. Put that money in there, boy. I used to see them have to shake kids' hands. The kids be like, no, it's mine. I'd be like, man, this is wild. This like turn you upside down and shake your ankles, son.
I remember coming to my pastor one time and telling him that, I ended up getting married at like 18, man. And the company I was working for ended up moving overseas, so I got laid off, right? And so I'm struggling financially, and I go to my pastor to tell him, like, man, it's really hard right now. I wasn't preaching yet, I was just a minister. I actually had a Sunday school class I was teaching, though. And I was just telling him times was hard for me. And he said, well, brother, are you tithing?
Wow.
That's the first thing he asked.
What?
That was your problem, huh?
Wow.
That was your issue.
Well, no, when I told him, that's my issue until I told him, yeah, I tithe. Wow. And then now what? Well, man, you got to understand, consider Job.
Yeah.
You see, this could be a test, like, don't forsake the test now, because the test can make you strong, right? Look at Job, how he came out on the other end. You mean with 8 dead kids, that's how he came out? You see what I'm saying? With all his crops burnt up, you feel me? Double for his trouble, so to speak. Nah, man, I'm not trying to go out like Job. You see what I'm saying? And now I'm sitting here scared, like, what if I'm like Job? What if God just gonna test me just for the sake of testing me and do all of this stuff? And I gotta maintain a heart for him, even though he taking everything from me. And I'm this fickle human being. Like, why are you messing with me? What's the point? Like, literally, when you really ask yourself, when this God supposedly decided to create the world, what was your reason, man?
Yeah.
Like, you would have known that people was going to burn in hell for your decision. Your decision to create people is why people burning in hell. You decided to create hell. You decided to create the devil. Everything is your fault. Yours.
Yeah.
And we supposed to think we the problem.
We the problem.
When this stuff was happening to you as a child, when you getting beat by your father, you thought you was the problem, right?
Thought, yeah.
That's how it is. You're convinced to think it's something wrong with me. Like my father wasn't there for me. Now, my mother died.
Hey, bro, I would pray after a whooping. Like,
see? Please forgive me. Yeah.
Please soften my father's heart.
When my father wasn't there for me, I would literally like look in the mirror and be thinking in my mind, you ain't worth a dime. Your own daddy don't love you. Like, what more evidence do you need that you're not worth a dime? Your own father don't love you. He don't show up to your games. He don't support. Man, you nothing.
You nothing.
Not he's a loser. You see what I'm saying? He don't know how to take care of a child because of what he been through. And he repeating what happened to him. I'm only seeing me. Why ain't I good enough? You see what I'm saying? And this is the approach you take to the Bible. You don't question the person that's doing this to you. You're only trying to fix yourself so this person will treat you better. Yeah. But then what I find is this God I'm believing in is just like my daddy. Nothing I can do to make this dude change. Because I'm trying to change me for him. That ain't going to make him change. I don't care how many jumpers I hit, how many punches I land. That's me. He ain't going to change. You see what I'm saying? He ain't thinking about that. Here's what helped a little. I go to my father at like 26 years old, and I say, why wasn't you there for me? He said, my pop wasn't there for me. And I said, and how did that make you feel? He starts crying right then. He's never asked himself. Now, I'm talking about my father. He can sing his tail off. He's talented. He's charming. He got it all, right? But he can barely read. You see what I'm saying? He going to outwork anybody beside him, right? But the way he grew up, he can barely read. You feel me? So his understanding is not like the average. You feel me? He's below average in his IQ. So he never thought about, why would you do this to somebody if you know how bad it hurt you? Like, that never crossed his mind. Like, that hit my mind early in life. I don't want nobody to feel what I'm feeling. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I never believe, if I leave my kids, I'm dead. You understand? Like, it's not going to happen. Period. You see what I'm saying? And again, when I asked him, why did you leave? Why you walk away? Again, that was his answer. And upon me asking a simple question, how did that make you feel? He breaks down. See, he had to deal with himself at that point. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't just me behind closed doors trying to figure out a way to make this man. It don't work like that. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm saying, like, you have to really take the time to say, okay, maybe it's not me. Maybe it's them. Your parents are not perfect. If you're around my age, I'm 35. A lot of us around this age in this area have parents whose IQ is below standard.
Below
we
ours,
know this.
at least.
Most of us went home in middle school and asked our parents to help with our homework, and they couldn't help with your homework. So you having to go by their rules and their plans and all this stuff,
and
right?
you're smarter than them already.
Absolutely, exactly. And you get held up until you believe how they believe. Right? I'm talking about, I went from questioning things in the Bible to feeling like I'm on another level because I don't question things.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I'm on the road, right? I'm like probably 14, 15. I'm in church. I'm right. I don't ask questions no more, right? I hear people down the road asking questions. But who made God?
Yeah. I'm like, they stupid.
Right? I'm looking at them like,
dummy.
ye of little faith. God was always there.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? You'll grow up one day. Shame on you.
Bro, I used to
You
say, I feel sorry for people who don't believe in Jesus and God because they so dumb. They got like, I used to literally say that. I feel sorry for them. Like people be like, oh my God, you still hang around him? You don't believe in God? I'd be like, man, you got to feel sorry for people.
Right. You're trying to help them.
Like, and I believe that shit. Oh my God, dude. Like literally, I thought I was better than people because of my relationship with a book. Because I knew in my mind, I used to talk to myself, bro, a lot. And I used to know in my mind, like, they told me to just pray and God to talk to me. Like, I done prayed 1,000 times and he still ain't saying nothing. Maybe it's just me. Like, you literally start feeling like that. Right. Maybe it's just me. How she catch the Holy Ghost every week? At 9:39 at the same time. How's she catching the Holy Ghost every week at the same bad time, same bad channel? But this nigga never jumping at me. Let me go stand beside. I done it all in church, bro. Let me go stand beside her when she starts shouting this time.
Look here, Jerry says people get lung cancer even when they don't smoke.
Yep.
You know what they dying from. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, exactly. I mean, and again, you have to imagine people. And Jerry, to answer your question. You asked this question, 50, 60, 100 years ago, they'd say because their parents did something wrong. You see what I'm saying? So you're dealing with these people. You're dealing with people who think, leprosy is given by God. You're dealing with people who think that if something bad happens to you, you must have done something bad. You must have done something which is the reason that God cursing you. Consider Job, right? Whenever these things happened to Job, and Job kept telling all of his peers that he did nothing wrong, they looked at him and said, there's no way. Like, they was even questioning God. They was like, there's no way God gonna do this to you if you don't just, you mean to tell me God just doing this? Yeah, God just doing this. Like, he is. It's in the Bible. Like,
you sure you ain't done nothing?
It says he was the most faithful servant, right? He did nothing wrong. Yeah, he did nothing wrong. But his peers didn't think that. From the looks of it, they thought this man did something wrong.
They were staying away.
That goes to show that even when you think somebody did something wrong, they didn't. God just an a-hole.
That's how my dad was, bro. I had a teacher named Mr. Belcourt.
Right.
I had this teacher named Mr. Belcourt, this white dude, and he hated me. I have no clue why he hated me. And he straight told me to my face, I'm going to make your life a living hell. He would call my house and tell lies on me to get me whoopings when he finally found out that I got whoopings. Right. So my mom started finally believing me. My dad would not. He'd be like, boy, tell your lies to God. Get on your knees and tell them lies. Don't tell them to me. This man wouldn't make this stuff up. And finally, after I'm not in this man's class no more, he admits, and my mom finds out that like this teacher been legit lying on me this whole time. My father gave me no apology. He did not care. He just gave me a bunch of senseless whoopings behind some dude's word. And literally, my father was like this. If my teacher was white, I ain't even joking. I ain't no racist dude. If the teacher white, they right. Point blank period. And you're getting beat.
Wow.
Literally. He would kind of tell him, if it was a black teacher, he would kind of be like, okay, let me listen to this little nigga. But if they white, nah, you getting smashed. Just because he had to come down here and get his bad son in front of these white kids, in front of these white folks.
And a lot of them, they're going to hold a higher amount of respect because they were just taught to. You know what I mean? So that's just the way it goes down, man.
And
but then you sit in church and tell us stay the devil.
And again, like somebody said, like
my mother.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I felt when I was talking to my mother, and she made the comment about the ancestors. Man, it was like, wow, like
I know exactly what he means.
We're gonna take what they gave us over our own people.
Well, it's like I asked this question right here, man. If some other country came here right now, defeated us in war, enslaved all of us, white, black, you a citizen of America, you here at the time, you enslaved, right? They tell you if they hear the name of Jesus or Allah or any God anybody over here believe in, you slaughtered.
Your head is off.
Period. Okay? Now, with that, you have some people who so strongly believe in Jesus, they're willing to die for it, right? So strongly believe in Allah, they're willing to die for it. Now you're going to have the rest of the people, right, that's not willing to die over this stuff.
That's right.
They're going to give you a God and say, teach this God is real or you're going to die. Now we know that God ain't real. There's no hell. You don't want your children to be slaughtered. You're probably going to tell them that God is real, right?
Tell them yeah.
Right. They enslave you.
Go along with it.
Right. So let's just say they enslave you for a few hundred years, right? Now all of a sudden, your children, right, find out that crap is not real, and they tell you, bump Jesus. We want to keep this new God. How would you feel if you believe in Jesus? If you believe in Allah, right? You would feel hurt, right? Like, you mean to tell me I was beaten and stripped from my knowledge and information and given his, and then my descendant says, bump what I knew before this.
Yeah.
How cold-blooded is that? You don't want to know what I knew before they came and took me? Like, you see what I'm saying? Before they got here and tricked me? Yeah. You don't want to know what we was about? You'd rather believe what they brought? Like, it's the psyche of that man is like, you want to be a slave. And you got to think about this, man. Think about this, bro. Harriet Tubman, okay? During her time, people were really slaves, like had shackles on, living in plantations, right? And she was having to convince these people they were slaves. Now, just imagine this. You have to work in cotton fields and everything every day, and you don't know you a slave. How you don't know you a slave? How you don't know you a slave, and you call a man master? How do I gotta? Because you born a slave. You didn't see yourself get captured. You think this is just life, and I gotta convince you that you a slave and convince you to leave. Where we gonna go? We're comfortable here. We got places to sleep. Yeah. Right? And Harriet's like, bump that. Just come. Yeah. That's what we saying. Just walk away from the dude. Ain't no death about to come chasing you down because you leave. Real. I'm telling you, I know you can be free. I done been there, right? I'm telling you, come back with me, right? Nah, man, I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna stay over here. Matt's gonna come out and check on us in the morning. Yeah. You will be gone in the morning. Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and stay right here. Okay. Right. Okay, stay. Right? And that's the mentality. How you don't know you a slave? And today, try to convince them they're a slave. That's right. They don't know they're a slave. You see what I'm saying? They have no. This ain't crossing their mind. They dangle free people. I'm sure slaves back then who knew that Morris was going to see George Washington. I'm sure that slaves back then saw other rich black folks and was like, how in the world? They look down on this like on that. Who that nigga on that man? Like, why is he doing up there? That's how. Like, why he free? Why he free? He don't want to be doing that. Yeah, they look at each other. They see themselves as again. So I did a video where I was talking to my daughter, and I was talking about when you're in a movie theater. Okay, you're looking at the wall. You're watching the movie on the wall, but the movie's not actually on the wall, right? The film is in the actual projector, right? So you see the images on the wall, right, as the movie. So again, hate has been projected onto you so much that you nothing. You deserve to be a slave. You a nobody. That when you see another person who looks like you see a nobody, a deserving of nothing, because this is the project. It doesn't mean it's true. It means you see the projection. See, the spell worked, right? So that's exactly how it works. You don't have to know the truth, right? Like I'm telling you, man, you look at many of these people who died for whatever reason and the government killed them. And you find out later they was trying to create money, right? Trying to create different forms of money that would collapse the government's money, which is why they were killed. Yeah. At the time, though, you thought these people was tyrants because you believed what they projected onto them, right? Right now, man, people who know me personally, they know I'm not a type of person who would attack people, right? I don't hate people. I don't call people out their name. That's just not me, right? But if a person who's under a spell sees me, they're going to see a violent nigger. You understand what I'm saying? That's right. They're going to walk across the street because, believe me, it still happens. You angry. They're going to lock their doors when I walk by, watch me like it still happens, right? People who know me would know I'm not that guy, right? But they're seeing a projection. To them, you really violent. They really see a monster right now. And that's how powerful spells are. That's why you got to be sure that when you're being deceived, the media knows that. You see what I'm saying? That's why they show you these images. They show you flipping gang signs and selling drugs as a child. In music, big pimping, wearing all your jewelry, looking all cool. Because they want you to aspire to be that. That's what they want you to aspire to be. And a child, how you gonna connect with that?
Like and we let it be jokes. Like the black person always die in the movie. Like we let these things be jokes about us. Like we let this stuff become normal, dude. Like come on. Niggas just
right.
like chicken. Okay.
Absolutely. Right.
What does that
all the
mean?
way
Everybody.
right.
I had a white dude tell me one time, we was cracking jokes, and he told me, "Why is that funny? I like watermelon too."
Right, absolutely.
Like, and I had to literally think about, like, yeah, we got to stop saying stupid stuff.
Actually, I give Tariq Nasheed credit for that. That's the first place I heard it, at least. You know, that was like just a whole joke. Like black
literal.
was eating the watermelon. They was eating watermelon fast, just trying to be funny.
Trying to be funny.
Right? And dude saw it and thought it was funny and filmed it. Right? Before you know it, there's postcards and little bitty whatnots, little glass whatnots, and all this stuff of black people eating watermelon. And now it's a thing. Black people love
let this
watermelon.
stuff be normal. Just like
Right.
on 12 Years a Slave. Old boy told everybody, I am not a slave. Listen to me talk. Do I sound like a slave? Niggas would like it looked like a duck and it quacked like a duck, but I'm gonna call it a dog. Like, that's literally what they did in 12 Years a Slave. Niggas still doing that. Like, literally, this dude was sounding intelligent. He could write a letter and they still wasn't believing him. The slaves still wasn't trying to hear him.
Wow.
But Brad Pitt's character came along and got him up out of slavery. I was like, this is wild.
Look at this, guys. Bobby Gilmer, thank you for the donation. He said church members pray for their family members, but then of course, he's talking about pray for their health. And he says, but then tell you to bring the same food that got their own members in the conditions that they are in during the announcements. Like, it's not crazy. Like, Lord, we're going to ask you to pray for the diabetes of sister so-and-so in the third row. Lord, please, you know,
take our place to the hospital.
Right, touch such and such goiter. Lord, please touch such and such in her stomach, you know. Then don't forget, guys, after church, we're serving chicken and roast beef in the back. It's really crazy when you think about it, man. Thank you for that comment, man.
And we had a candy lane, bro. We had a full-blown section took out the wall where a woman sold, like, it was like the gas station. Every snack you could think of was right there in the back of my church. Long line after church, too. Icy's, honey buns, all that stuff. Nigga, you want a $5.99? You want a tape of the sermon? $6.99. Like what? This church, they bringing all the money in the storehouse, dude.
Absolutely. And again, guys, the sheer fact is this: if it were true that if you give, it be pressed down, shaken together, and running over, black people wouldn't be at the bottom of the economic scale. Period. Because we tithe the most. You would be at the top because we pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It would be the best people wouldn't even buy lottery tickets. You would simply just go tithe it, bro. Like it's just guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
Instead of getting let me get a $15 or $2, you just soon give your $2 to the church and see it really flipped, right?
And
it's obvious this stuff is a lie, but we like to play with it and say, well, it might not come in the form of money.
Yeah.
You know, you never know. You could have got hit by a car yesterday.
Yeah.
Because of your time. No, bro.
Everything
it said just be giving back, press together and shake. It said, try me and see, I'll pour out a gift that you won't have room to receive. I won't have room to receive not getting hit by a car? That don't even sound right.
Nope.
You see what I'm saying? You can't put not hitting by a car in anything. You see what I'm saying? You don't need to make room for that. Like, you know what you're talking about? That's a big make room for this. I almost got hit by a car. Everybody get out the way. Stand back, y'all. I almost got hit by a car.
Y'all see that was God. That's how they be too.
Come on, man. So it's one of those things where it's like you really got to start looking at this stuff for what it is. And by all means, try to apply logic. I know you're not allowed to.
I know, right? You're not allowed
that. We get that.
Lied.
We ask you to do something that the Bible tells you not to. I get from your side, we sound like devils, right? Doing it. Okay, it's that, you know, people gonna leave. That's what it's saying. The end time.
Yeah.
Listen, man, people been leaving this religion forever.
It's been the end time since I was born, boy.
Did you know that Islam is the fastest growing religion? Did you know that? Did you know that Christians convert to Islam every day? Does that mean Jesus coming back too? I mean, think about it. People walking away from the faith is a direct indication of the end times. People been walking away from the faith since there's been faith.
Yeah.
Period.
And literally think about this. This country we live in is a Christian nation. They let them come here.
Yeah.
This is a Christian nation, and they let the same people, the president ran on war against them, and they let them come here. Like, dude, how are you even following this at all?
It's unreal, man. Like I said, Jesus coming back. Okay, Jesus was coming back for your mama. Jesus was coming back for your grandma.
That's right.
Her grandma. Jesus been coming back. Jesus told the disciples that some of them wouldn't even die. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus never told the disciples that. He never existed. People like to quote me, bro, and make whole videos. See, look, there he says Jesus said something.
Yeah, out of a 2-second clip.
Jesus is attributed, okay, for telling the disciples that some of you won't even taste death. Now,
that's right.
Unless Jesus meant they were going to look that, they was going to lose their taste buds, and that's why he wouldn't taste death. Then okay, but Jesus said some of y'all won't even die before you see the Son of Man returning. They dead.
He came back already.
They never existed. But we know if they were alive, they would be dead. And Jesus still ain't back yet. He lied. Okay? He lied to them. If you believe in Jesus, here's the problem, bro. When you think the Bible is the perfect and inerrant word of God, one mistake ruins it.
Yep.
One.
Because you just
the Bible's riddled.
That means you're not perfect.
Right. Now, I'm going to tell you what's crazy. For a turn of phrase, I got to use a pun. It's riddled.
It is riddled with silly gimmicks.
Riddle, when you say it in that term, it means a lot. But riddle also means a joke to make you think of the allegory. Right? It's riddled
literally
with mistakes. You see what I'm saying? It's riddled with them. It's unreal, bro. The first riddle
and that's what I was saying,
about Adam and Eve is riddled with mistakes, right?
From the front to the back.
Yeah, it's
from the root to the
gotta put the whole book under a microscope.
Right, you can't.
Even the Revelation, dude. The Revelation is straight up. That's a movie.
Absolutely,
that's a movie. Like what?
Right.
The Book of Revelation, and that's what the first thing that preachers want to tell you. Y'all go read the Book of Revelation when you ain't paying enough tithes. God, you need to read the Book of Revelation. You ain't. The sisters wearing pants, they need to go read the Book of Revelation. They want you to read the scariest book in the whole book, and they don't really care if you read the rest. I'll tell you what the rest of the book say. But they want to make sure you read Revelation.
Absolutely.
And see, and that's why on my page I just did a post about this yesterday. I said, has the definition of soon changed?
Soon.
I'm almost 42 years old. And I've been hearing Jesus is soon to come.
Yeah.
Since I was little.
Well, I look at the words. I look at the word soon as backwards. Noose. I mean, hang in there. He coming soon.
Soon as at the end of that news, he coming. Absolutely. Oh wow. News. Oh my God. That's real. I'm using that.
Real. All right.
You just got
But you know what? I was reading the definition on my page, on my Facebook page, right? And it said the definition was in a short time or whatever, right? So then it had a sentence. You know how it gives you the sentence, right? And it said the sentence was what was the sentence? The sentence said something like, soon everyone will know the truth. And I said, man, it looked like Jesus showing
Google
up.
like to play mind
like
games,
the truth is showing up faster than Jesus is.
Google like to play with you.
They just didn't know the truth wasn't Jesus.
Yeah. He is
what I'm saying. That was the problem.
It said everyone will know the truth soon or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow. I mean, because if you pay attention, people are walking away. People are waking up from
Every
this.
day.
So somebody's getting some truth somewhere. You feel what I'm saying? And it looks like the truth is showing up a lot sooner than Jesus had.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, the only thing keeping this thing intact is hell. That's the only thing. That's the glue.
Right,
that's the glue to Christianity is hell.
And let me say this right here, because we're about to be closing. I got a long drive. But listen, guys. If you are a Christian and you are afraid of hell, I want you to never forget what I'm about to say to you, because this is very, very important. So if you are afraid of hell, of the Bible's hell, I want you to know that your chances of going to that hell are slim to none. You will more than likely end up in somebody else's hell.
You might be already in it.
There's 4,200 religions. There's 4,200 religions, and most of them have a hell, and they have people that believe in it just like you.
Just like you.
So, I wouldn't put so much fear into your personal hell, the Bible's hell, the only one you know about.
Yeah.
I would consider that there are many hells. And you might open your eyes in one that don't even have fire.
Literally.
You might end up being upside down, being cut up into pieces by a Hindu god.
Yeah.
Because that's their hell. You get tortured and cut up into
You ever
pieces.
see the TV show Preacher?
Yeah.
Where Hitler's in hell?
No.
And Hitler's hell is when he was a kid, he wanted to go to this art school, and the Jewish art instructor told him he wasn't good enough. He had to live that day over and over and over and over and over, where the Jewish dude would walk up and tell him, no, you can't come to this art school. Your art is horrible. And everybody in the room would laugh, and Hitler would be standing there. It's not funny. It's not funny. I was like, this is like, you don't know. You never know. Hell, you might be in hell, literally, already.
Absolutely.
You're going to go to hell.
Absolutely.
I'm there now. Why you telling me? Stop. Go.
Absolutely. So I say that because, I had a person tell me the other day, an adult male, again, he was in his 40s, and he said, man, I got to be honest with you. I do know that there's nothing factual and no real reason other than faith to believe in this literature. Although I do still fear hell. And so I asked him, how much time have you spent worrying about Allah's hell or Krishna's? And he said enough said.
Right.
He said enough said. He said immediately his fear went away that quick. I'm only scared of it because I heard about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like all these religions,
all of it.
You never thought one day.
Yours is the right one.
Right.
Yours is the right one.
Right. You never thought one day about Brahma's hell. Not one time have you thought about Vishnu's hell. Not once. You never had a dream and feared it. Nothing. Right? Period. So why would you fear the one you heard about? Just think about that.
Yeah.
Right? So, and now here's the thing. Vishnu and them are 3,000 years older than Christianity. And you don't fear their hell. And their literature predates yours by 3,000 years. Not 3 days. Okay, not a couple months. We're talking about 3,000 years. If I count to 1,000 right now, by the time I get to 1,000, this whole live stream would be dead. That's how many years. That's how many years Krishna predates Jesus. And he's supposed to come back one day to rescue Hindus. You understand that? So you mean to tell me Krishna is supposed to come back to rescue Hindus? He's 3,000 years older than Jesus. And God chooses to write the same literature about his son.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that?
Yeah.
It's when you talk to people about this stuff and they say like, well, I don't believe theirs because theirs is false.
Yeah.
Theirs is false.
They're false God.
Theirs is false.
That's false doctrine.
How do you know?
You know.
Have you read it?
Theirs is false.
Have you read it?
Discern.
Have you even touched the Vedas? Have you even opened the cover? How do you know it's false? Have you even spoken to a Hindu?
Yeah.
How do you know it's false? Because the Bible says exactly. Indoctrination. Like, say it with me. Indoctrination. That's the SpongeBob thing where words come out like a rainbow.
The Blues Clues.
Yeah,
they need Blues Clues.
It's simple questions, just like that.
Say it again.
No, I'm saying it's just simple questions, just like that.
Absolutely.
But instead of like really taking the time to think about these questions,
under the collar.
you would rather just, I believe, my faith.
Yeah.
Like it's like.
Hey, I still want to know what a reprobate mind is, bro. Nobody in any church has answered this question for me yet. I still want to know what a reprobate damn mind is. Because I be straight up playing with people. I tell them I'm trying to go eat at Odin's table when I die. I straight up mess with people when they ask me what I believe. Mm-hmm. Like, man, I'm trying to go eat at Odin's table when I die. Don't ask me no stupid questions. And they think like, I had one dude ask me, I had my Rasta cap on, and he was asking me about Moses. Mm-hmm. And I was like, nah, I ain't religious. I just like these colors. Mm-hmm. It's a Rasta cap, and I'm a Negro. Right. Why do I gotta have a religion to have this Rasta cap on? He said, well, what are you? I said, I ain't nothing. He said, you don't identify with nothing. He gave me the most confused face. Like, what? Like a black, you don't identify with anything. Nothing.
I had a dude just hit me in my inbox. He's like, hey, brother, I got a religious question to ask you. I'm like, I'm not religious.
Bro, I had a dude questioning me one time like I was Horus, like I was Haru. Like asking me these, like, I was like, oh my God, dude, you can Google this stuff. You know that, right? And that's the thing. Like the same stuff they ask us is stuff you can just Google it. Literally. That's right. I'd be like, it ain't that you don't know. It's that you don't want to know.
You don't want to know. Because if I put it right in your lap.
I already did the research for you.
Well, I was going to tell you
just because you find something on Google or YouTube, they act like what you presenting is nothing.
Google
ain't
better than the Bible.
And YouTube.
Right. Absolutely. And a reprobate mind
Jesus got videos too.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say a reprobate mind is supposed to be a drunken mind or a poisoned mind. A person who God cut off. A person who God rejected.
Oh, wow.
Again, it adds back to that. It's ad hominem. This is my way of saying that. Your mind is just messed up.
Yeah.
And nothing you're saying is facts. The source of your brain is discombobulated.
Because your brain is messed up.
Absolutely.
Nothing good can possibly
the drunk, right?
Yeah.
Right? Again, this is what the government does. This is what these words are for. When you call somebody a conspiracy theorist, it's to make them seem like they just ludicrous, like just thinking that everything crazy, right? And this stuff is done to make people not want to admit that they're a conspiracy theorist. So they think that there's other stuff going on than what the media tells us about.
Got you questioning the truth now.
Right. Absolutely. So these are words to try to make. These are words to not only shun you, but to make other people
set up crazy, bro.
Absolutely, dude.
Words like I was saying the other day. What word was it? Some stupid word, and I was like, man, they literally just made that word up. Like, they made up so many words to give people excuses for things, dude.
Absolutely.
So many words. I'd be like, what is that? Like, oh, you being condescending. What is condescending? What is it actually? Like, because I'm talking intelligent and you can't talk on the same level as me, intelligence-wise. I'm condescending for just being myself. Like, I'd be like, dude, you realize that they made up that word so that I would have to dumb myself down for you. If I'm smarter than my boss, he can say I'm condescending and fire me.
Right, absolutely.
if I'm not being a good slave, or if I'm asking too many questions, my slave master can kill me and say that nigga was being condescending. Like you can go back to the sources of these things and literally see them, but niggas just don't care. Like,
it's kind of like First Time Felon. Okay, you ever saw this movie? That's got Omar Epps in it.
I have seen that movie. Yeah.
So you got Sergeant Calhoun, right? Who's sitting here beating up on all the people trying to be a bully. And as soon as somebody stands up to him, he says, "You think you tough?"
Yeah, you think you...
Man, you've been hitting me since I got here. You think you tough? What you talking about? I'm defending myself, you moron. And now I'm the problem, though.
Now you the problem on deck.
That's what people do. They flip it on you. Your parents do that same thing.
They do the same thing.
Your parents going to try to run the same crap on them that their parents taught them without researching it. And when you say that's not true, you think you know it. Just get your dumb self and sit down somewhere. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say something.
Don't come out that room for the rest of the night.
Exactly. And you never get to say your piece, ever. And that's pretty much how you grow up dealing with some of these people. You see what I'm saying? So it's really hard to get your own mind. That's why I say once you find it, keep it. You see what I'm saying? Once you find it, keep it and protect it and protect yourself. So we about to close, guys. So we're gonna leave this into the next week's episode because I was gonna have people call in, but guys, Josh had been up probably for like a day or so, and he's very tired. So I went on ahead and allowed him to go and get some rest, and he brings in all the callers. I honestly have no clue how he does that. So.
You had somebody over on Facebook trying to. I just checked over in the comments, man. But you had somebody over on Facebook trying to get on the show bad.
Okay.
So I hope it wasn't an emergency. I don't know what it was about because I didn't read all the comments, but I mean, you had the people over in the comments saying, "Hey, Kev, put this brother on, put this brother on." So
What,
Might want to check into that.
what was wrong? Was he?
That's what I don't know. That's what I don't know if it was something. That's what I don't know. LaShawn, he could
LaShawn,
probably
man,
tell
see if you can comment real quick and tell me what was up. Was he wanting to refute, or was he, wanting to ask questions? Is he in pain? Like, what's going on, brother? Kind of let me know what he was saying real quick. I'm gonna wait for LaShawn's comment, and we're gonna then we're gonna close out
I know.
for next week. And that brother, we're more than welcome to call in again. Kevin,
Dude,
Troy.
I be out for the preacher's kids. That's who I like.
Right.
I be because I know it's kids out here still going through it today, getting beat and all that crazy stuff. I know it. It's kids out here every day that's
absolutely
going through this and having to cry and having to be out of place, and they ain't got no friends in the house. They ain't got no friends at school. They ain't got no friends in the streets because they ain't thinking like everybody else.
Thank you,
and you get to a point where you don't even desire friends. Like you like, I know I'm gonna have to dumb myself down to hang out with these people, so I'm good.
I refuse. I won't.
Yeah. And there's other people out there like that, and we should all be coming together. And people be like, "Oh, well, what's the solution?" And we ain't uniting. Like you can see like how many people be in the feed. This is uniting. This talking about this. This is uniting. This is therapy. My parents ain't trying to hear this. Y'all listening to me. My parents, y'all giving me more love than my parents will. Because y'all listening to what I got to say and commenting back about how I feel. I can't even get that out of the two people who created me. And there's more children, it's 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds out there just like this. Right now with no voice. If they try to have a voice, they're going to get knocked to the floor. And they little us's. Yeah. They little us. They little, and they in this world,
LeSean, if you're there, let me know something, brother. And I can find out later too, most definitely.
I see him over in the Facebook chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what was going on.
If any of my administrators, if you actually saw that person that was trying to get on, just if you guys can let me know what's going on. In the meantime, I'm going to let you guys.
His name is GT Hawkins, I think, or GT something.
And I'll definitely look back through the comments and see if I can see what was going on too. But I want to say this, guys, keep your eyes open in Atlanta for the 26th of next month at the Apache Lounge. We're doing an event there, all right? So just look for that event bright as well. Guys, a lot of you guys say, man, Kevin, why do you charge for tickets? Because I have to travel to these places and get the hotel rooms. Like, y'all have to really, y'all pay to go see people perform. Y'all don't mind doing these things. You see comedians. You coming to learn, man. Like, you don't put focus on me and worry about what money I'm getting, man. Trust me, man, I'm struggling. I don't have it like that. For a lot of, I do.
See, and that's the bad thing about this out the black community. So many people done scammed us. We don't even man, it's hard to get black folks to just trust anything.
They don't understand. It's like, I don't have a job. You see what I'm saying? I don't have insurance. Like, I don't have a company who giving me all of this stuff. So I still go hard just for the love. And I'll be thankful for the donations that come even with this one. But like, I drove to see this man. I didn't this ain't no hop, skip, and a jump. This is a couple hours trip just to actually visit this man and do this live with him. You see what I'm saying? So I did that for you guys. Okay. So you guys could see us sitting beside each other and give you a good dialogue, good information. A good episode, as I like to call it. But I mean,
preacher don't do nothing but dance in front of you.
Right.
You niggas was giving him 10%.
Right. When I created my Patreon, I had all 5,000 friends, right? That was already there before my stuff went viral and I became known. Well, I deleted all those friends off so I can only add patrons with the goal of reaching 5,000 patrons. And if I could do that, I would add them as friends because they actually contribute to what I'm doing, and I would never charge to travel because I would have the funds to do it. You wouldn't have to pay for a ticket because I would have the funds to get there and be able to pay for my own hotel room. It would not be a problem. So for anybody who's interested in doing that, man, come to Patreon. Somebody asked about when I'm coming to Detroit. Every time I get on this, every time I post a meme of anything, somebody asks me, when am I coming to their city? I would love to, believe me, my whole goal is to spread the truth, you understand, and wake people up. So I would love to be in all of these places that you guys are asking me to come to. I really would.
But he's not Jesus.
Right. I cannot just make this stuff happen. So please make sure, join Patreon. Let's get that up to 5,000 people. 5,000 patrons. Let's do that. If we can do that, I can do all the things that you guys are wanting me to do.
For real.
Seriously. We do want to bring you guys exactly what LeSean said, cure world hunger. Exactly. We're trying to actually make changes in the world. not just do the same thing you saw all these preachers doing.
Yeah.
I talk about what they do. So believe me, by speaking about preachers manipulating people, I have put myself under a microscope.
Under a super
so do you really
microscope.
think I'm about to play y'all?
Oh, yeah.
You really think come on,
for real. Preachers are
everywhere
and waiting for the day. They're waiting for you to scam us a red cent.
Absolutely. Listen, here's what would happen. Thank you very much, Tevin. Here's what would happen. If I did that to y'all, I would not only hurt my movement, but everyone.
Everyone.
Christians would look at that and say, he's just like everybody else. Mm-hmm. Jesus must be real, because you know their logic. You know their logic. The one dude who came out from religion and had all y'all walking away from religion was robbing y'all too. Now what? You think I'm about to let y'all go out like that?
I'm
trying to like change the world and rub it in their face. That's what I'm trying to do. Look, no more homeless people. Get this work. That's what I'm trying to do. And here's the thing, I'm not even boastful about it. When I get out here and I feed homeless people and they say, thank you, Jesus, man, I don't tell them Jesus didn't give that to them.
Yeah.
I would never do that. You see what I'm saying? That's not why I'm there at that moment, right? Tacoma, I tell you, when we go downtown, we don't go out there and be trying to walk up to people talking about Jesus. We know better than that.
Yeah.
We're trying to make it back to our children. We're tough behind the camera. We internet gangsters, okay? No, I'm just playing. Hey, Lee Sean, you here, man? Let me know what my man was wanting on Facebook real quick before we let everybody go.
Yeah, he said he was just a biblical dude. He think he kind of wanted to debate or something.
Yeah, I know exactly. I didn't want to say nothing, but I know who it is. He probably wanted.
Begging for change. What's up, Ricky? What's up with you? We said religion keeps us divided.
He wanted us to argue. See, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
keep doing what
that's what they want to do. They want to keep arguing. They want to keep arguing, dude. They cannot deal with the fact that we just done with their bullshit. They just cannot deal with that.
Absolutely.
And I mean, if you look at it, religion is divided in itself.
Yeah. Dude, there's 33,000 different Christianities. Like, it's definitely divided.
What gang are you in?
How you break one religion into 33,000 different pieces?
Denominations.
Right. That's like gang banging, man. What's that you like?
Like, for real, that's exactly what it is. Open gang banging, like, literally. This is villages and tribes.
We banging for Christ.
I'm going to tell you what be getting me, though, bro. This what be getting me. Okay, you're going to have all these churches on the same street, in the same neighborhood, right? Same city. All these pastors go to their individual churches and tell their churches God's word for that house. So God is giving people different words based on what church they attend. Right. So if it's like the month for blessing and receiving, then I'm going to that church, right? If my church is time to fast, and I don't want to fast, I'm going to change churches. Now, here's what I'm saying. If we could believe in God, or the Bible's idea of God, if all these religions was the same religion, all these people were from different parts of the world, and they wrote the same stuff, you could get that, right? Mm-hmm. But the sheer fact that a God would choose to use literature would have to make you wonder anyway. Mm-hmm. Why? When you could just speak, you know you're going to be here, right? When you write your will, you're going to die, right? Your will is meant for after you dead, right? What to do with your belongings and stuff after you gone. God has a will, right?
Will.
This person is supposed to live forever, but he wrote a book.
He wrote a will.
You can talk, you can do anything, but you need us to read this book, though. Right? Isn't that crazy?
He likes burnt offerings.
Like, come on, come on, y'all. So when you see this stuff happening, man, it's like you really have to think about it. You go to these churches, you see these people with all these titles. Prayer warrior. Right?
Yeah.
Prayer warrior.
What?
Like you got a black belt and talking to the sky? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you got the whole armor of God on, huh? You got the breastplate of righteousness. And then Christians be in church saying that. I got the helmet of salvation. I got the sword. You ain't got no sword in your hand. Man, Dylan Roof went there and shot through everybody's breastplate.
Yeah.
What was he doing? You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Wake up, people. Please wake up. Right. Next week, we're going to have, hopefully, Jamal going to be on talking about his experience with coming away from religion. Ricky, I would love to have you on here. I don't know if you've explained to your family you coming out, but I'd love to have you call in and give your piece as well. And, of course, the callers, man, and the people who watching. You guys can definitely come on next week and talk about, yourself coming out and the things that happened and what some of your people said. So, yeah, Laquita, black belt and talking to the sky. You call him a prayer warrior.
A prayer
Come on,
warrior.
man. We got to stop this, man. We got to grow up.
This like Templar Knights.
Yeah,
like
we got to grow up, man.
You a prayer warrior, you walking around like, do you know what that is?
Right, what is that? Come on.
What is that?
Come on, man.
In the prophetess, the prophet in the prophetess.
Thank you,
all
Jeremy.
This stuff, dude.
Let's see here. Jeremy, send me a message on Patreon as well, and I'm gonna go add you as a friend immediately. Guys, if you join Patreon, message me on Patreon. I know a lot of you guys have messaged me on Facebook. Facebook filters your messages. Facebook is actually like against you growing for some reason.
Oh yeah.
So if someone's not directly connected to you, like you're not a friend with them or something like that, it filters them. Like go to your messages right now, check filtered messages. You're gonna see some messages.
You're gonna see a bunch of stuff
from people that messaged you, right? So send me a message on Patreon, and I will immediately go as soon as I see it. I don't mean as soon as you send the message, I'm gonna do it. I mean when I see it, I'm gonna do it. and I will definitely add you guys because I want to be friends with you guys. That's who I want to be friends with. I don't want to be friends with random people. I want to be friends with the people who literally support me. Right? I want when people look and say, okay, who he adding as a friend? He only add people who literally are supporting and putting forth an effort to people's awareness. Mm-hmm. If you're not a teacher and you can't give the information and you want me to come to your city, you should be joining my Patreon because I would come to your city. It's that if you say, okay, how do I know if I qualify for even wanting to join your Patreon? If you would like for me to come to your city and speak to your loved ones or anything for that, I speak to people's loved ones personally through calls through Patreon. Okay. If you looking for stuff like that, join my Patreon because people come to my message box and they think I'm an a-hole because I don't respond to them. I don't even see these messages. You see what I'm saying? So I'll see them commenting on all my posts. I sent you a message months ago. I never saw it, bro. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
You got to learn the algorism of Facebook. Don't just
for real. Yeah, people got to get up on this technology too, man. Learn this stuff, man. Y'all stop being scared and stupid.
Right. And see that, and I just got a rude awakening today because Josh was very tired, and now I can't bring callers on, so I got to learn mine. Listen, man, we all growing. We all gonna come at places in our life where we realize, okay, I'm not equipped enough as I should be. So what happens when that happens? You don't get mad. Right? You don't run and cry. You simply say, I need to get better. And do it. It's not hard. See, like when people say, what do you call yourself? What do you classify yourself as? When I say it, they think it's arrogant. I tell them simply, I am something else. That's it. I'm something else. You can't define me, bro.
You can't define this.
I'm not my name. I'm not my birthday. I'm not the zodiac sign I was born under. Okay? I'm not black. I'm not any of that stuff.
Not any of that.
All that stuff that these words and people created to define me does not exist to me. I'm something else. None of those things dictate my thoughts. What I get offended at, because I literally get offended at nothing. And ain't nothing you about to say to me to make me mad because you don't have no power over me. Your words has no power over me. I'm something else. So when you call me a nigga, you talking to yourself if you racist. If you call me a loser, you talking to you call me gay, anything you want to call me, you talking to yourself, not me. I don't care what you say. Understand your words are useless. I'm something else. That's exactly what I say. I'm something else. And you need to learn that you're something else too. Don't let people control you and put you in a box. Thank you very much, begging for change again. So and that's and then
is that your name for real?
That's dope, man.
Begging for change.
I love it. Because hey, we need change.
Yeah.
And not the kind of
Oh my God,
man. So before I dropped my album, that's what it was called, Change. And my intro was the one thing consistent in life is change. If you saw Life Jennings, that's what he used to always say. The one thing consistent in life is change.
Yeah.
And of course, music has a jingle.
Yeah.
So of course, not the kind of jingle.
Yeah.
That's what of course I changed it to the Rapture. Of course, I changed it to the Rapture, because I'm an apostate and a heathen. So it's got to be the Rapture. You feel me?
They ain't ready, man.
They not ready.
Man.
Listen, guys, I don't want to hold y'all any longer, man. Listen. I say this with as much conviction as I possibly can. I love y'all, and with every sense of the meaning, I mean it with action, not a word. I prove it every time by coming on here, giving you guys information. I prove it, so I'm glad you guys came out. I hope that you guys heard something that'll help you. challenge the things that were said on here if it came from my mouth, Callie's, or my man here. And I'm sorry, pay homage. Do you want to give, matter of fact, where will we find you?
I'm on YouTube as The Machine. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. You can go on my Facebook and pretty much find all this stuff. A lot of y'all already follow me on IG and Facebook. So I got SoundCloud, I got Reverb, I got music out. If you want to hear some of my stories, some more of my stories about my psycho ass parents and stuff they used to do to me, you can go to my YouTube channel and catch a couple of my videos I got up there. I got a lot of stuff private just because I like to play with people. I like to put this out, put that out, put this. So anytime you know what I mean, you can check me out. I'm a pretty good rapper too. So check that out too.
There you go. Callie, you want to give your location, man?
Yeah, man. Y'all can basically find me on Facebook, man. Callie Williams, CALIWILL_MS. But if you're gonna send me a request, inbox me first. Inbox me first.
Yeah, we screening people.
Yeah, for real.
I'm screening.
See, I'll be like, if you want to add me as a friend so you can cuss me out and tell me I'm going to hell,
yeah,
be a patron. and you earn the right. You officially earn the right to cuss me out, okay? Don't mean I'm going to listen, but hey, thank you.
Hey, and it's so pointless to like people do this. Like, people come to talk junk about you on your post, and they know you got a gang, son. Like, you got a whole group of people, and we're going to attack them like a swarm. You ain't even got to say nothing.
Nah.
We're going to attack them like a swarm of bees, and they still come on there. Mm-hmm. They still argue. They still look stupid. They still block us after we debunk all their stuff. It's like, dude, like, and then they'll make another profile and go through it all over again. Mm-hmm. Like, it's insane to me, dude.
That's unreal, man. I mean, one guy made his whole page about me. Literally took my pictures off my page
and was
telling people I was gay. Like, there's not a gay bone in my body. You understand what I'm saying?
That dude blocked us. He was blocking us left and right.
Yeah, the dude made his own page, man. So people going to do whatever they can to try to ruin your character, assault your character in any way they can. I don't let it bother me. You feel me? Thank you very much, Nubian.
And what was he saying? Go outside and yell into the sky, I hate God.
I hate you, Jesus.
I hate you, Jesus. And see what happens to the rest of your life. I was like, bro, you really want me? Get up. He was like, get up right now and go do it. I was like, man, this man, wow. The only pictures on your page is pictures of Kevin Wesley. And he was commenting that to everybody. Everybody. Go outside and yell to the sky that you hate God.
So you know me and my sarcasm. I said I did.
Yeah,
and he told me to tell you, Jesus fake, bro.
Hey, Jamar killed him with that one.
Jesus fake, bro. We got Don't Debate Me and Jesus fake. Y'all can't win. It's a KO on Christianity out here, like no joke.
All right, guys. So you know how it is. When I say we about to go, we always end up going another hour, and it is an hour. So that is it, guys. I do have a long drive. Let's see what Beg for Change said. He says, that's why I chose the name, Kev. You changing the word. I appreciate that, brother. You know that, man. I really do appreciate that.
Kevin, you're really the only person that, like, no offense to anybody else, you have no drama. You don't have no confrontations with dudes. You don't have a nasty mouth. You know what I mean? Like, you're the most sensible, in the guidelines dude. Like, you can't hate on this man. Period. Like, he doesn't, like, I don't get it, dude. Like, you gotta hate yourself.
I love people, man. So I just wanna help. I always been that way. No need for me to get mad with you. I understand that your anger coming from a place.
Like, dude, people like to understand this. People have known me since I was a kid. Now, after that live video, Kevin Wesley called me to cheer me up. Not my mama, not my daddy, not my uncle, a couple of my aunts and my sister, which is my people. But for the most part, nah. This man didn't know me from a hill of beans, from a can of paint. I'm just another person in the chat. And he hit my line like, bro, what's up with you? How you feeling, man? Yeah. That was the first thing he said to me. How you feeling, man?
Yeah. It ain't easy, man.
That's all I needed. Like, I was by myself. Like, again, like, thinking about this stuff all over.
Man.
And I mean, the thing about it is that's how we have to be for each other. When you see a
That's
person,
right.
That's
when I saw him, I saw me. That's when I see you, I see me. I ain't about to hurt myself.
Mm-hmm.
So why am I hurt you? I ain't about to call you stupid because I wouldn't want to be called stupid. Like people think it's crazy when I tell people in my entire life, I have never called anybody ugly in my entire life. Because I know it's not a fact, it's a matter of opinion, and there's no need for me to say that to somebody. Mm-hmm. What needs for me to say that to hurt somebody like that? Keep it to yourself.
What does it do for you?
And so I just feel like that's the way we should be moving. Your children are my children. You see what I'm saying? If somebody hurting them, I should be ready to protect them as if it's my own. If we live like that, it would be instantly a better world.
That's why I can't stand this mind your business mess.
Right.
Mind your business, man. Do you understand? I saw a dude made a rap song on Facebook. His 3-year-old got shot on accident in a drive-by, and everybody knew who it was, and no one snitched because mind your business and don't snitch. Like a 3-year-old is dead. Y'all not gonna tell this man who killed his 3-year-old. All you the rules is just messed up. The mind states is messed up. We got to come together and not be apart. But these same people who say don't snitch when you act bad, your family members, mother, father, whoever, they'll call the police on your ass in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. And they the same ones teaching you all this craziness, all this crazy mess. But threaten them and see what happens. They're going to call the police on you. Absolutely. Quick like. Mm-hmm. Like you can't even play with these people out here. If we don't come together for each other as humans, not just black people, nigga, as humans, because it's white people out here that done more for me than any nigga I know, and this niggas out here that done me dirty than any white person I know. So I don't limit myself to if I'm gonna take help from this person if he black or white. Black person, I only want this from my brother. I ain't limiting myself to that. I know that opportunity is gonna come from everywhere, and we gotta start understanding this. And as people who don't want to be in bondage,
there'll always be war.
We just gotta, the people who don't want to be in bondage get together and screw the rest of them. Mm-hmm. Let them take the trash out.
Mm-hmm. And Tamasha, I wanted to let you know that I will have you on next week as well. I'd love to hear your story as well.
I love when preachers, kids, because in my church, man, we ain't talk like we knew each other was getting smashed, but as a kid, you be embarrassed about that. You don't go to your homie as a 10-year-old like, bro, your mama whooped you the other night. Like, you know what I mean? We was all trying to prove we didn't get whooping. Like, nigga, you got a whooping. Mm-hmm. Like, that was funny. So we kept it to ourselves. A whole church of kids getting molested, beat, all kind of things, and keeping it to themselves because they think it's something wrong with them. And then when the child get older and become a product of this environment, now they need prayer and their soul need to be saved. It's like they create the dirty soul for them to save. Let me mess your soul all up and then save you. Mm-hmm. Like what?
It's crazy.
The same priest that molests you is praying for you now.
Before we go, if I really want to start. And I said this before, some of you probably heard, but I really want to start cranking up some lives like this on Facebook. Different type of lives. You feel what I'm saying? Because some of us are going through different things. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? And I want to be able to have these conversations with us. You feel what I'm saying? Amongst us. Because we got preachers' kids who's dealing with certain things. I want to hear more from our women.
Yeah, for real though.
Women, man.
The religion really hates them.
The conscious community or whatever, but I want to hear more from the women.
For real though.
So inbox me. If y'all got ideas, man, inbox me.
The religion really hates them.
Let's figure out how we can start these conversations, man, on my lives, on your lives, or whatever. You know,
let's be each other's therapy. Like, you know what I mean? We know we can't afford them therapists. We can't afford that mess. Let's be each other's therapists.
Absolutely.
Let's be each other's psychologists. We don't need pills and spend a bunch of money sending our kids to these people that don't know them. Like, there ain't no reason for your kid to have to go to a therapist.
Mm-hmm. I definitely want to give a shout out to those of you who have been inboxing me, and we've been talking, and I'm learning a lot of things. I don't know everything. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm learning as every day. You feel what I'm saying? And it's dope that you guys hit me in my inbox and you give me things to post. You give me things to research.
I've been telling some people, y'all be giving me ammo,
I can't
boy.
think of your names off top right now, but I would really like to shout y'all out, man. Cause y'all be on y'all game with
Yeah,
me.
shout
You
out,
feel
shout
what I'm
out to the
saying? And
community,
y'all,
no doubt.
and
Yeah,
my
for
ladies
real,
in Detroit, my ladies in Detroit, my ladies in Cleveland, man, that's been with me, and we've been having the conversations, man. I definitely want to get these lives going with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because you ladies, man, we definitely need to, get more
They
from y'all.
they the quiet, they the fly on the wall in all this for real.
Absolutely.
Women the strongest. They sit back. Women will suffer in silence.
Man,
For real.
Mhm.
And women got the skeletons in the closet, boy.
What's crazy is I was just telling Josh that I think the day before yesterday. I'm like, man, we've had way more men than women on the show. Now, don't get me wrong, I've offered a lot of women to come onto the show, but a lot of them just weren't prepared, wasn't ready to do it. Even if they didn't use their face, they just believed their voice would be so recognizable. You know what I mean? And a lot of them, guys, they see like some of the comments, even when someone is talking about walking away from religion. If their vernacular isn't good and they're stumbling over words, possibly because they're nervous, because 500 people listening to them.
Because that's gonna happen.
Y'all comment like yawning faces and stuff and be like, get on with it. Like, we need y'all to do better, because if y'all doing that, people are going to be too afraid to get on. So we want y'all to try your best not to do that. It's not only, you only have to say try because you're grown. You got control over your fingers. Just don't do that. Right?
You're gonna say you conscious.
There's no need for that. Right? Let's give each other time, because everybody's on their own journey, and just because somebody does not know as much as you does not give you a right to be impatient. That is ego. Okay, and we don't need that. There's no place for it. It's not going to benefit us, right? So we don't need to be that way at all. We don't need to make people feel smaller than they're already nervous, right? They're already talking in front of a bunch of people, and then you do stuff like that. It makes it even worse. So just try to respect the people that come on. Actually, we can have a lot more input from other people. So with that being said, man, I wanted to say again, I love you guys and thank you guys for coming in. Next week, I promise you, it's going to be crazy. On a light note, Pay Homage said that most of the youth that went to church with him is already awake. Already.
Yeah, it's just the old people still in there looking at each other.
That's actually very powerful. Like most of the young people at his church is already awake, so that's powerful to me. So I just wanted you guys to know that that's a big testament. So next week, make sure you guys are here so you can hear what other people are saying. Maybe somebody will have the same story as you. If you don't have the courage to call in yet or feel comfortable calling in yet, maybe somebody will say something that you're going through and that you can learn something from, right? So we all in this together. And what you guys don't understand is we all the same energy, right? Living in different perspectives. You see what I'm saying? So if I stand on one side of a building, I'm looking out my window and I see a red building and he sees a blue building and he tells me about it, I now have more of a perspective of what's around. If Tacoma can look out another building and see a green building, now we're learning what's around us, right? We need to speak out so we know what's out there and know what's happening to us, okay? This is the only way. You have to think about this. We don't have media putting out this information. All we have is us. So if during your week, spend time learning. When you call in the show, maybe you drop a bomb nobody ever heard. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we bringing this stuff to the table and we try to put the puzzle pieces together to just learn and grow, right? We're looking at life like simply researchers. We're okay with not knowing. We're okay with not knowing where we go when we die in terms of like
get your self-esteem
exact place or anything like that. This is all about remove that. You don't even know, if you promise tomorrow. So you need to just really work on now, right? And grow. You don't have to have all the answers. That's the one thing that we need to learn and just stick together and we can get through anything. Like a man said, we can be the answers to each other's prayers. We really can. So by all means, keep that thought in mind. Consider that. And on that note, I'm gonna let Pay Homage say any last words.
Peace. I love y'all, man. All y'all can't, dude. People responded so fast to my live, like that was awesome, man. And I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all listening right here, right now. And all y'all are great, man. Even the people who say funny, crazy stuff in the comments.
Absolutely.
That doesn't bother me. Like, I'm a joking dude. Like, if you want to ever have a snap contest, come see me. You feel me? I done heard all the jokes. I'm black, so I know some jokes.
Thank you, begging for change. I'm going to call you, Ricky. I want to hear that. Thank you very much, High Priestess. Callie, any last words, brother?
Hey, man, Pay Homage, man. I just want to, say, you stepped up, man, showed a lot of courage doing what you did, man. You feel what I'm saying? And, hey, man, just keep going strong because somebody seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody seen that and somebody needed to see that. You feel what I'm saying? So, I support you, brother. And Kev, you already know, bro. I love you, man. You know,
Indeed, brother.
we got work to do.
Indeed.
You feel what I'm saying? And we're gonna do it, you know.
Absolutely.
And hey man, peace to everybody out there, man, and my queens, man. We love you, man. We love you. We need to hear more of y'all voice, man. You know, so
For real,
all of y'all inbox me, man. Let's figure out how.
Hey, when the women say it's over, it's over.
Oh yeah. Oh,
when the women break this, start doing this and breaking this down,
the men will have to.
They ain't got no choice.
When the women walk away, the men gonna have to.
They ain't got no choice.
I promise you. See, women are responsible. Well, I ain't gonna say put the responsibility on y'all, but I will tell you this right here. When y'all raise the bar,
we do what you love us for. Yeah,
you understand? We don't have no choice.
We do what you love us for. Nothing, nothing more, nothing less.
Sometimes it just takes them to find their voice. That's all. You feel what I'm saying? And sometimes that's all it is.
Absolutely. And so I guess with that, I'll say definitely special thanks to you paying homage. I commend you on your courage for coming out to your mother. You know what I mean? And then for even getting online, knowing you were emotional, knowing you was that close to crying and saying, I don't care what nobody say. Yep. I gotta say this, right? That's very important, man. That's powerful to me. Like I said, I couldn't even sit through that thing without tears. For real. I mean, I listened to it and came out here and it's still the same thing. So, yeah. And Tacoma, you already know how I feel about you and the things that you say and the things you've been through, stuff like that. So on that note, I just want to tell everybody, be the evolution, be the change that you want to see. And remember this, no candle loses its flame by lighting another. Have you felt any of your fire diminish?
Nope.
Have you, Callie?
Not at all, man.
And I haven't either. In fact, my fire is growing. It's like I'm giving out all this fire and I'm getting more fire. Where's this fire coming from? Right? Okay, so keep that in mind. I love you guys and peace.
Peace.